Anaheim Ducks hockey is brought to you by the Jeep Cherokee. Built free. Visit Jeep.com or your local dealer to begin your adventure today.
On our tribute to Teemu Selanne night here inside Honda Center, there's also, not to be forgotten, a little hockey game that will happen here tonight. The Winnipeg Jets coming to town here in Southern California to take on your Ducks. Guy Hebert, Mark Rogandino, just a few minutes away from dropping the puck. Not to get lost in the shuffle here, Guy, is the fact that the Ducks do want to focus in on and keep their good form at home and try and skate for what I believe is win number 26 on the season. They look no further than their captain, Ryan Getzlaf, to help them get there. Recently named an All-Star. That brings us to tonight's Guts and Glory, brought to you by Ram Truck.
Yeah, this is certainly not unexpected that he would be named to the All-Star game. But again, he picked up the slack where things were going wrong with all the injuries and the illnesses, and he really put the team on his back in the month of December. So this is just another feather in the cap for the Anaheim Ducks.
It'll certainly be part of the discussion throughout our broadcast is the fact that Getzlaf, out of one of the best teams in the National Hockey League, the only Duck selected to the All-Star game. I'm sure there's plenty to be made about that, but it is very surprising. Guys like Corey Perry, guys like Matthew Bolesky not included in that affair. We will wait and get more on that later, but first we go inside for some hockey. We hand it over to the play-by-play voice of the Ducks, John Allers.
Thank you, Mark. The barn is filled to the gills as they honored their number one son earlier. Time for tonight's Keys to the Game is brought to you by Honda. With those, we go to the Ducks bench. Julie Stewart-Banks standing by with assistant coach Trent Yawney.
Thanks so much, Johnny. Trent, Bruce Boudreau has said that over the last 10 games, the team has been slipping a little bit. Where do you need to tighten up?
Well, we need to break out a little bit cleaner, get back the pucks a little bit quicker so we can get out of our zone and establish our forecheck.
Thanks so much, Trent. Good luck. Back to you, Johnny.
Thank you, Julie. I have to think the start is paramount in the coaching staff's mind coming into this when Ryan Kesler and the Ducks for the third and final time go up against the Winnipeg Jets tonight. Andre Pavlik gets the start in goal. He made 21 saves in a 4-3 overtime loss against the Ducks back on the 7th of December as the Jets look to make it 2 in a row. The referees are Brad Meyer and Ian Walsh, the linesmen are Brian Mock and Derek Amell, and we're underway. An icing call just 9 seconds in against the Jets.
And I like the way Bruce Boudreau has started this game with the Ryan Kesler line, opposing the big line for the Jets. Ladd, Little, and Wheeler, those three gentlemen. We've talked about this before when the Ducks played the Jets. They're 1, 2, and 3 in scoring for Winnipeg. You shut down that line, and you've got a very good chance of winning, and it's going to be Ryan Kesler's job tonight as the center to help make that happen.
Kesler 64% in the last 2 games combined in the face-off circle, and he wins the draw there. Tries to work it out of the corner back to the point, but the Jets roll it to the line. Swiped at the stripe by Stoner, but he had to retreat defensively. Off the skate of Bolesky, it comes loose in the neutral zone, and the Jets will send it in deep. This is Andrew Ladd. Ladd tries to get it back to the line. Byfuglien didn't even stop it, just one time, did well off the mark. Bolesky brings it back, and his bid to get it deep is deflected over the glass and out of play.
So if you had a chance to see any of the game played last night between the Jets and the Los Angeles Kings, you will have seen a Winnipeg team that was one of the most physical teams that I've seen this year. Paul Maurice has got his guys, his big guys, really playing big, really being a factor on the forecheck, and there was a ton of body contact in that one last night.
A game in which the Jets built a 3-0 lead on 3 goals in the span of 3 minutes. They scored on their first 3 shots on goal in that game, and then had to hang on for dear life as they trailed 4-3 in the 3rd period.
You know, John, when we talked to Bruce Boudreau, he talked about the fact that the Jets have got some beef now back on the blue line, and they're getting healthier again. They've got a couple of key cogs on their defensive core that have just returned from injury, and so all of a sudden they look like a team that does move the puck more quickly out of their defensive zone than certainly we saw in the previous 2 encounters against them.
They've gotten 3 defensemen back in the last 2 games. Tobias Enstrom, Mark Stewart, and Zach Bogosian have all come back in to the Winnipeg lineup in the last 2 games. Andy Vander Keen up front as well. As we look at tonight's Mercedes-Benz Star Watch, brought to you by the Mercedes-Benz dealers of Southern California. Comparison, Brian, of a couple of all-stars.
Yeah, Dustin Byfuglien. Remember, he started the season as a big power forward for Winnipeg because of their injuries. They moved him back to the blue line. He's been sensational. He's going to stay on the blue line. And Ryan Getzlaf, to me, is an MVP candidate this year. I think he's just had a brilliant first half of the regular season.
Mark Scheifele able to win the draw on the Jets will get changes. Is all the way back to get it as Cam Fowler. Skates through the number 8, painted on the ice behind the nets. Behind Frederik Andersen. He gives it to Lovejoy, who put it up on the glass and then eventually off the side of the Winnipeg goal. Lovejoy activates up the near boards. Mark Stewart trying to pitch it the other way, but it's deflected back. And again, Lovejoy is below the hash mark to keep it alive.
Remember I said that the Ducks were concerned about how their team would start? Well, one of the things Boudreau has done here, he's activated his defenseman early on. He's pinching in. He gets body contact there from Ben Lovejoy, and that's going to make the coach happy.
Evander Kane on the receiving end of that. And then Byfuglien had to hold up at the line to try to stay on side. Matt Halashuk was caught in the zone. Ducks break out, and the pass deflected by Smith-Pelly, and Dustin Byfuglien backs into his own zone. We get a whistle. I think did the Ducks have too many men on the ice?
No, I think we got a penalty here. It looks like an indication was roughing.
And it's against the Jets.
And it's Evander Kane. And Evander Kane has a reputation for taking bad penalties at times. He's an extremely talented young player with a ton of speed. So watch what he does here. He approaches Ben Lovejoy. Lovejoy just tries to duck away from the check. There's not much there. You see contact with the head of Ben Lovejoy, the stick of Evander Kane, and that's why he'll sit for the next 2 minutes.
They called roughing, Brian, but it looked like a high stick, if anything. The most penalized team in the league as far as most times shorthanded is the Winnipeg Jets. They're 29th in the league in penalty minutes, and they put Anaheim on the power play to begin the game here. Ducks have been very good on the power play against them. In 2 games, 3 power play goals. Getzlaf works it down low. Maroon stepped into it, but Getzlaf gets it back. Perry lays it off, and Maroon behind the net to the captain once more. Perry right through the crease. Postman's shot is blockered away by Pavelec.
2 days of practice. The Ducks have spent a great deal of time, every day in practice, working on the power play. General Manager Bob Murray said the other day that the performance of the special teams has been unacceptable to this point in the regular season. I think he got everybody's attention because I've watched the last 2 days of practice, and boy, they have looked very, very sharp. A big special teams emphasis.
Both the Ducks power play and penalty kill in the bottom third of the league, and Kessler on the doorstep. Thought he had one, but Pavelec, as he was backing into his net, kept it out.
You know, this is interesting. Pavelec is playing deep here, and he does not try to cut the pass off with the goal stick. Well, watch for that. It's the goaltender's responsibility to not allow the pass from behind to go through that blue paint. That's too easy. He's sitting right with his rear end on the goal line, and it almost cost him a goal. Great little pass there, by the way, by Carl Palmieri to Ryan Kessler.
5th career appearance against the Ducks for Andre Pavelec. He's 1-1-2. His goals against is 3.5 against Anaheim, and his save percentage is below 90%. Ducks with a minute remaining on the power play win the draw. Boston hammers it, covered by Pavelec.
The book on Andre Pavelec is that he will rebound. Sami Vatanen shoots the puck, but it's about 1.5 feet, 2 feet off the ice. And look how the goaltender handles it. He takes it in the breadbasket. His hands are right there. It enables him to cover up that rebound quickly. Ideally, you want shots about 6 inches off the ice, above the height of the stick. If you get crammed into those leg pads of Pavelec, there's going to be some big rebounds.
Anaheim, good work in the face-off circle early here as they're able to control momentarily. Mark Stewart rims it around and gets a bounce off of Stanchion. The Jets have 6 short-handed goals this season, and here they come. Ladd hands it off, and Anderson's first save of the game on a short-handed bid from Brian Little.
That's exactly the type of puck that Freddie Anderson was hoping for. Strange bounce off the stanchion. We see that a lot at Honda Center. Long range, little soft wrist shot right into the breadbasket and handled easily by Frederik Andersen.
Anderson had a rare night off on Wednesday, the Ducks' last outing against the New York Rangers. This is his 27th start in the last 29 games for Anaheim.
You know, I was disappointed that Frederik Andersen was not selected to the All-Star game. I think he was deserving of that honor this year. Jimmy Howard was just put on IR by the Red Wings, and he's supposed to play in that game.
Ducks a little haphazard with the puck in their own zone while still on the power play. And this is Blake Wheeler. He got it in front and just not able to get anything on it was Adam Lowry. So the final seconds of the Anaheim power play are spent defending. Kane will come out of the box, and the Jets are full strength. Ducks come up empty despite 3 shots on goal on that power play. And Mark Scheifele lays it back to no one in general. Jay Harrison will get there. Harrison has been a Jet less than a month, coming over from Carolina in a trade in mid-December. Ricard Raquel steals at center, and then he threw everyone, including himself, off as he tried to fake the shot and then fanned out. Ducks in mid-change as Cogliano storms off the bench into the play, but Scheifele trailing the play will gain the Anaheim strike. Fourth-year man, first-round pick in 2011. Scheifele hands it off. Matthew Perreault tried to center. And we got a penalty coming up to the Ducks now, as that was broken up, and a hook is the indication from the referee.
Anaheim penalty, number 7, minor penalty.
It's going to go against Andrew Cogliano.
No argument from Andrew Cogliano. Another puck that gets into the middle of the ice. And Cogliano gets his stick into the hands
It was Michael
Lowry.
Frolik, I think, that he was engaged with.
And so now the Jets for the first power play opportunity of the game. Keep an eye on Andrew Lowry. He leads them with 6 power play goals this season.
Winnipeg wins 8 power play goals in their last 8 games. And Dustin Byfuglien's the trigger man. He hands it off to Brian Little near circle. Little gets it below the goal line, and nice work stepping in was Francois Beauchemin to knock it loose. And Lindholm tried to clear. I think it ended up in the Anaheim bench, then came back on the ice surface.
It's kind of interesting in that this puck was shot from inside the Duck zone, but then it deflected off a Jets player before hitting a glove on the Anaheim bench. The linesman saying it hit a glove on your bench. But watch this. If it hits a Winnipeg player, and it does, that faceoff should come outside the blue line.
Perreault got his stick on it. And after conferring, they're going to keep the faceoff, it would appear, to the left of Frederik Andersen.
The only way it stays inside, by the way, is if in the determination of the linesman, the puck should have stayed inside the playing surface, but the player's glove dangling over the boards actually the reason why they had to blow the whistle.
That appeared to be the indication Brian Mock was giving as he was pantomiming the reason, at least as far as we could tell. Little trying to get it back to the line, and he will. Byfuglien hands it right off. And then the pass across skips away from Matthew Perreault. Perreault white hot, 20 points in his last 22 games coming into tonight, including a 2-point effort last night at Staples Center. He had a goal and an assist in the shootout win against the Kings. Byfuglien falls down, but a last-ditch effort pokes it out of harm's way, and then Ladd brings it in offside.
A nervous moment for Dustin Byfuglien. He's checking the edges on his skates right now. He just seems to lose an edge as he's turning. A good second effort, however. He was able to poke that puck away from Devontae Smith-Pelly and just knock it out of harm's way. If he doesn't do that, a pretty good scoring chance for Devontae.
Get used to seeing number 33 in white. He played just under 30 minutes last night in the game at Staples Center. As you mentioned at the top, Brian, it's a guy who started the season playing it forward because of the rash of injuries on Winnipeg's blue line. They pressed him back into service as a defenseman. And I don't get the feeling that Paul Maurice has any plans to put him back up front anytime soon.
Well, why would he? Especially right now, Jacob Trouba is injured for the Winnipeg Jets. Really impressive looking young rookie. And I put him right there with Hampus Lindholm as the 2 best young defensemen, or really young defensemen in the game today.
Speaking of Byfuglien, in the last 17 games since he's been moved back to the blue line, on 6 separate occasions he's been +2 or better. It's a guy who began his career with the Chicago Blackhawks back on the blue line. He had a hat trick at one point early in his career as a defenseman in Chicago, and was moved to Atlanta after the 2010 Stanley Cup season. They moved him up front, moved him back to D, and then he's been back and forth since the team moved from Atlanta to Winnipeg. He's a Swiss Army knife of sorts.
He certainly is. And much like Brent Burns of the San Jose Sharks, he's been used at forward, but every time they put him back in the blue line, teams seem to say, you know what, our interests are better served when the big buff is back there.
Andersen reaches out to cover. Both teams have failed on early power plays. And we are scoreless on Temu Tribute Night. Just 6 minutes in. Get your limited edition Forever Temu merchandise at the Ducks team store powered by Reebok. Take your photo with Solani's banner tomorrow here at Honda Center. And then visit the team store to choose from commemorative t-shirts, bobbleheads, game-used equipment, and much, much more.
Business, by the way, is brisk in that team store. Everyone seizing on the opportunity to get their little piece of Teemu Selanne.
Well, no one's going to wear 8 for the Ducks ever again, but it seems to me a lot of people are going to wear 8 in Orange County and parts unknown throughout the hockey globe. A wonderful ceremony in case you just joined us. The raising of the number 8 to the roof here at Honda Center took place before this one between the Jets and Ducks, and an icing call here against Anaheim. Brian, I don't know how many times you've been involved in events like this. Both teams respectively were out on the benches for portions of the ceremony. That makes it really difficult to get back amped up and playing a game, doesn't it?
But I also think it levels the playing field. When both teams are going through the same thing prior to the ceremony, a lot of teams would stay in the locker room and not be part of the home team ceremony. If you're the visitors, a real classy move by the Jets.
Perry lets one go on a left-hand save by Pavlik. Behind the net, Maroon gets it back. Getzlaf across for Lindholm. Wrist shot way out. Pavlik to make the save through traffic.
Yeah, that time, Pavlik intentionally punches the puck straight forward, past the traffic that was set up in front of the net.
Frolik is taken out by Lindholm in front of the benches. And the Ducks recover possession in their own zone. Francois Beauchemin, goals in each of the last 2 games and 3 goals in his last 5. He swats it out of the zone. Beauchemin had the only goal against the Rangers here on Wednesday. Lowry and a stick save by Anderson. The rebound is potted by Evander Kane. The 26th time already this year that Winnipeg has scored first.
Yeah, a turnover in the neutral zone, and Lowry just jumped on it. Adam Lowry here is going to take a little snapshot. Here's the puck in the neutral zone. The Ducks had control. Here comes a Lowry, and this fat rebound left right out in front of Frederik Andersen. And there's that speed I was talking about with Evander Kane. Stick on the ice, quick hands. He just shovels it right underneath Andersen to open the scoring here for Winnipeg. So a little bit of cuteness by the Ducks as they move the puck out of the defensive zone, and it cost them.
The one-time 30-goal scorer, Evander Kane, has his 7th of the season. He's missed 15 games due to injuries and suspensions this season, has Kane. So tonight, just his 28th game of the season. Boy, I don't know what Pavlik's doing there. He didn't play that puck. It nearly came right in front to Smith-Pellet. Harrison came to the rescue to slap it away. Peluso loses it in the corner. Harrison is going to take a penalty. He checked Thompson from behind into the corner, and the Ducks want to retaliate, but they may want to keep their cool here because all they'll probably do is even things up.
Yeah, the fourth line of the Jets does not play much with Peluso and Thorburn. Big, tough guys, and boy, that's a bad penalty by Harrison. I mean, when you see the shoulders that square to the boards, you can't hit a guy right in the numbers. It's an automatic call, and there's no debate from Harrison as he heads into the box. A boarding call against him. Second Anaheim power play upcoming. There were some good moments in the first power play sequence. In the first, I would say, 2/3 of the power play. They got some shots through, and I think that's what it boiled down to for the Ducks. Quick puck movement, more shots, especially off of the half wall, and that should yield some goals.
The Winnipeg penalty kill is 9th ranked in the league, but boy, have they struggled of late. They've given up 6 power play goals in their last 3 games. And Palmieri wins a puck battle, walks it right into the crease. Pavlik does it away. Score! Ricard Raquel pouncing on the rebound, but it was Palmieri who made the play.
John, you remember what we showed earlier about the goaltender Pavlik not using that goal stick to prevent people from bringing the puck to the front of the net? Well, here it is again, and it's going to cost him. Great job by Palmieri, but look at that stick is not preventing Kyle Palmieri from bringing it into the crease. It's too easy. And now he has no idea where the puck is. Ricard Raquel sniffs it out and finds the top of the net. And maybe some of that extra practice time is paying off.
It's a power play goal, second of the season for Ricard Raquel, and just like that, the Ducks answer back. And it's consecutive games now, Brian, for the Ducks for the power play goal. And that's a very good sign. That unit has been having its problems. That's part of the reason, as you mentioned, they've worked so hard on it.
And I think also significant, it does come from the second power play unit. It's 12 seconds after the faceoff, a faceoff win by Anaheim. Raquel strikes.
So the goals just 46 seconds apart, and we're tied at 1. First it was Evander Kane, even strength, and now Ricard Raquel from Palmieri. And the Ducks have tied it. Cogliano trying to sweep it in. Anaheim needs to get outside. So time and space for the Winnipeg the Winnipeg Jets, who throw it right into the bench area. As Bufflin was under a little bit of pressure. Well, just a reminder, as you enjoy, we look forward to Miller Time coming up later on in tonight's game. It's brought to you by Miller Lite, as we'll pick out one of the key moments in tonight's contest and pay tribute to it. Winnipeg, the number 2 road team in the National Hockey League. 12 wins away from MTS Center, including last night's game.
The 12-5-4 on the road, so 7 games over par on the road is a really impressive road record. It's surprising they've had their problems at home where they are a 500 team. But as I mentioned, John, you know, they're in the hunt of the playoff race. I think people in Winnipeg, to be honest, would tell you that they're pretty much exactly what they were hoping for at this stage, to have a chance to make a push and qualify for the playoffs. It has been a while.
Shifley rattling the high glass, got his own rebound, but Bogosian couldn't get it through, and now Enstrom trying to handle a fluttering puck back in his own zone. Tobias Enstrom missed 19 games before last night with a lower body injury, so he comes back into the lineup and immediately played 25-plus minutes. He works it off the end wall, and Perreault into the middle of the ice. Shifley strides ahead, gives it up, gets it back. Here's Perreault, and a kick save by Anderson. Rebound, Bogosian scores. Zach Bogosian now with goals in consecutive games, his first and second of the season. The Jets are back on top.
That's another rebound goal. And this is not good defensive zone play by the Ducks. Kessler was there. He could not prevent the tap back into the middle of the ice. And unfortunately for the Ducks, they vacate the most important area of the goal, and Bogosian just slides into a soft area, finds the puck on his stick with a wide open net staring him right in the face. This one, John, has got the feeling that it could be one of those crazy type games.
A wide open game, the type of game Teemu Selanne might like to play in, perhaps. Bogosian had no goals in his first 26 games this season. He's got 2 in less than 24 hours. A former 3rd overall pick of the then Atlanta Thrashers. Back in 2008, Bogosian has given Winnipeg a 2-1 lead. And now Evander Kane breaks one up. And Botman battles with him all the way to the corner, trying to center. Lowry was parked in front, but Getzlaf defending that most important part of the ice that you were just talking about, Brian, and he turns it the other way. Bufflin up on the plate, pushes it into the Anaheim zone. Botman over to get it. And an aerial pass that eluded Getzlaf, but Perry gets to it at the line. Drops it back, and Getzlaf wins the battle with Jim Slater. To the line, Boschman's shot is deflected out of play and will step aside. 3 goals, lickety split. In less than 2 minutes, it's 2-1 Winnipeg.
Something that we will keep an eye on with Andre Pavlik, just to drive the point home as we roll this forward. The area closest to the net. Stop it right here, guys. This area is the goaltender's responsibility. Pucks can't come through there, either by pass or being carried through that area. There's a reason why that stick is in his right hand. He's supposed to prevent that from happening, but he's not. He is allowing the Ducks easy access on the blocker side of the net to really attack the Winnipeg goal crease. It makes life really difficult for his defenseman. And boy, if I'm the coach of the Jets, I'm sending a defenseman back there and saying, hey, remind Andre that is his job. That is part of what a goaltender has to do to play good defense.
27-year-old native of the Czech Republic, Pavlik, now in his 8th season. Played for a couple of years in the Quebec Major Junior League with Cape Breton before he was drafted by the then Atlanta Thrashers back in 05. Spent his entire career with the Atlanta Winnipeg franchise.
He's a great athlete. I mean, you watch Andre Pavlik move, how he recovers after making a save. He's one of those goaltenders that you can never take it for granted if you got an open net staring you in the face, because Pavlik is lightning quick, moving laterally around the net, but there's some things he needs to clean up for sure.
Boschman rips it just wide, and it's put right back into the crease as Nate Thompson hooks the rebound back into the blue paint. Jets have won only 2 of their last 6 games. They gave up the big lead last night before recovering to win in a shootout against the Kings. Thompson in on the forecheck, got a good bump on Enstrom, but the Jets still possess. And here comes Tobias Enstrom. Swedish native hands it off. Andrew Ladd, long wrist shot wide of everything. Deflected into the middle of the ice. Smith-Pelly got a glove on it, but then couldn't put it to his stick blade. And Brian Little circles back with it. Little led the team in assists a season ago. He leads them in goals this year. And he'll head to the bench for a change as the Ducks regroup in their own zone.
Brian Little is one of those players. If he wasn't playing in the Winnipeg market, he would get a lot more attention around the NHL. It's just a wonderful two-way center icer. It's good on both sides of the puck. As mentioned, that line with his wingers Ladd and Wheeler are very difficult to control. You got the size of Wheeler on one side, you got the bulk and the brute strength of Ladd on the other wing, and you've got a real cerebral centerman in Brian Little in the middle of the ice. A real good line for the Jets.
Little appears to be well on his way to his 4th 20-goal campaign. Already with 16 goals this season. Here comes Jakob Silfverberg for the Ducks. Tried to pass it across, and Jay Harrison denies that, and now chases, but thinks better of it. He'll go to the bench for a change. Fowler stretches it. Raquel catches it. Gives it to Silfverberg. Here's Cogliano joining him, and he can't get the shot to the net. Raquel stays with it. Fires it across, and it handcuffs Silfverberg. Fowler uses his skate, but he can't keep it in the zone, so Anaheim has to touch up.
Yeah, puck bouncing around crazily. Good decision made by Fowler. Plays it safe. Gets it deep.
Ben Sherratt does the same thing at the other end. Impressive-looking young defenseman. Sherratt came up mid-season and has played his way into a regular role for Paul Maurice. He is the defense partner of one Dustin Byfuglien, so that means he's going to get plenty of ice time. Vatanen shovels it along. Can't get it past Adam Lowry. The rookie forces Vatanen back, and he finds an open Palmieri. Self-chip off the right boards into the Winnipeg zone from a bad angle, and Pavlik made the save. Remember, Palmieri beat Pavlik in overtime up in Winnipeg with a high short side shot, so you know he was remembering that.
Going right back to the well.
Yeah, why not? Tonight on Fox Sports Live, a controversial call that changed the Cowboys and Packers will be discussed. In the NFC, the question is, could Peyton answer the questions against his old team? And an exclusive interview with Oregon football head coach Mark Helfrich.
We were just talking about it, so we will see the overtime winner by Kyle Palmieri. Almost an impossible angle, and he just absolutely roofed the boy. You remember that, John? How quiet that building got. It was just absolutely silent.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you mentioned the troubles the Jets have had at MTS Center. The atmosphere in that building, one of the best in the National Hockey League. It's not the biggest building in the league. Everybody sits pretty close, and they make plenty of noise up there in Winnipeg, but it has not translated into victories, at least this season, for these Winnipeg Jets.
The Jets' defense are really pressing the issue with the Anaheim defensive zone.
Going to get an icing call here. No, they wave it. And Bogosian, whose goal is the difference right now, is back to get it. You know, it's interesting. Winnipeg was not a good home team last season either. Just one game over 500 at MTS Center. When you look at a team like the Jets, who finished out of the playoff picture last year and are, as you mentioned, Brian, on the cusp again this year, you have to look at that home performance and say, man, if you could just play a little better in your own building, you might find yourself playing in the postseason.
Good defensive play there by Ben Lovejoy. Leads with the stick. It's a key shot block.
It was Little who couldn't get it to the net, and now a centering pass by Ladd off a skate, and Anderson says, I'm going to cover. 5.5 to go in the first. The Jets on top, 2-1. National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman on hand for the festivities tonight as the tribute to Teemu Selanne and the retiring of his number took place earlier. He was on the dais, and he will join Brian Hayward coming up in our first intermission to talk all things hockey and all things Teemu, I would assume. Brian, but I guess I shouldn't speak for you.
I think there's a very good chance of that, John.
2-1, the Jets have the lead. 5.5 to go in the first. Former Duck Matthew Perreault steps in. 8 goals in his last 11 games, and he wins the draw. Sherrod across. Bufflin shot, redirected, rebound, score! And Mark Scheifele has made it 3-1. A little redirect appeared to turn it into a changeup on Frederick Anderson, and it was off balance.
4 goals scored in this game. All 4 goals have been on rebounds. And here's a puck that's just thrown towards the front of the net. Little redirect, but that's a bad rebound. Those are killers. Goaltenders try and kick at a puck that doesn't really stick to your pad, so you don't get any either distance on the rebound, and it just kind of sits there big and fat, and Scheifele says thank you very much and just chops it home. So some of the rust that Bruce Boudreau was really concerned about is evident, and it's from multiple, I would say, people in this lineup right now. Defensively, the Ducks have not been sharp. Frederick Anderson has showed some rust. And as a result, the Jets have got themselves a 3-1 lead.
The 7th overall pick in the 07 draft, Mark Scheifele, with his 7th of the season. It's 3-1 win. The last 2 times the Ducks saw the Jets, Scheifele was playing on the wing. He's playing center now for Paul Maurice. Brian, just yesterday and today, watching Scheifele, he appears to be so much more comfortable in the middle, and he's having more of an impact on the hockey game as a result.
He's growing into a man. I mean, he's just a young kid. He's 21 years old, and 20 years old. 6'2", he's 184 pounds, and so he's not up to full strength yet. He's always had great vision and great hands. He just seems to be a little bit more relaxed now whenever I watch him play.
Scheifele had 13 goals a season ago, getting in 63 games with the Jets. 3-1 Winnipeg, 4:35 to go in the opening period. Tobias Enstrom has his bid blocked by Palmieri, who checks the stick to make sure it's still in one piece. Bogosian moves it around, and it's tipped in front. Anderson sticking that away. Palmieri comes away with it. Cuts to the middle, plays it off the boards to Bolesky. Pulls up and whips it wide on the short side. Blake Wheeler moves it quickly across. And Bogosian gets it deep, and then he's met by Ben Lovejoy. Well, the big line for the Jets has not done the damage. Kane, Bogosian, and Scheifele have the goals. Big rebound on the Perry bid, and it came all the way to the top of the circle. Maroon got it back towards the goal.
Andre Pavlik just looks really off balance right now. I know he's only given up 1 goal, but he gets away with a rebound right back out in front of the net. And boy, if I'm on the Ducks bench right now, I'm just saying, guys, shoot from everywhere. Shoot low. Get it into his feet, and he's having trouble.
He's been splitting time with Hutchinson pretty much for the last 2+ months now. So as far as getting into a rhythm and playing on a nightly basis, that hasn't been the case with that. 28th game of the year for the Winnipeg netminder as the Jets work in the Anaheim zone. Stewart holds it in at the point and drifts it wide on the short side. Anthony Peluso gets to it, cycles it back. Thorburn comes out of the corner, and a pick is going to be called interference on Jim Slater, who's brushed aside by Getzlaf as everybody pairs off.
It's interesting, John. That line, Slater, Thorburn, Peluso, historically they don't play very often for Paul Maurice. They play about 6-8 minutes a game, a lot of nights. But I think because it's the second half of back-to-backs, he's actually paired them up against Ryan Getzlaf. Of course, they've got great size, but that's not a good penalty for Jim Slater to take. He sets the pick on Getzlaf, tries to create a little space for Thorburn. And boy, when you got a 3-1 lead and you take that penalty about 185 feet away from your own goal, you know Paul Maurice is not a happy camper right now.
The result is the third power play of the night for the Ducks. They're 1 for 2, and with just under 3 to go in the period, this would be a nice way to end the period for Anaheim. Down 3-1. Raquel scored on the power play earlier in the period, and he's out there along with Kessler and Paul Mary. Face-off win right to Lindholm, and a save by Pavlik, and the rebound shot just wide by Kessler.
And it's 5 of 6 face-off wins now for Anaheim when they have been on the power play. They get a good scoring chance once again. And Pavlik is fortunate that another big rebound does not find an Anaheim stick.
Shots 12-9 in favor of the Ducks. Bottoning up the middle, and it's kicked to Raquel by Kessler. Ducks do a good job to keep possession, stay on side, and Paul Mary gets it deep. Kessler trying to jump around Brian Little to get to it in the corner. Vatanen joins the fray. It comes loose. Jay Harrison taps it along, and the Jets able to ice.
You look at the Winnipeg penalty killers. They've got some beef back on the back end there. They've been struggling, as mentioned. Tonight, the 7th power play goal they've now given up in their last 4 games. So a real issue for them.
Bufflin didn't get much on his clearing attempt, and the Ducks work it over. Lindholm passes it back. Fowler, one-timer. And that one's tipped out of play.
That may have gone off of the goaltender. Pavlik kind of grabs at his mask with the blocker hand. That may have caught him up high.
As Maroon and Perry are parked in front, it's going to have a look.
Here's the one-timer. There's no way he sees it until Maroon jumps out of the way. It hits him right in the forehead. And it bounces up and over the glass. That's a break for Pavlik. The referees are going to make sure that he's okay before they drop the puck.
Pavlik appears to be a little shaken up.
We talked about those goal masks and the fact that there are no flat surfaces on them. Trust me when I say this, that puck still hurts when it hits you in the forehead.
Brian, where Pavlik's concerned, though, there's a little more concern. Remember back 4 years ago with Atlanta, he missed games with a concussion, and then he collapsed in the goal crease after he returned in a game against the Washington Capitals. So I would think anytime he wants to take his time after a shot like that, everybody kind of holds their breath. He stays in as Anaheim stays on the power play. And Getzlaf's pass to the line is intercepted. Shorthanded, the Jets are dangerous. Here they come. Ladd goes to the net, and a backhand bid by Peluso turned away.
And Cam Fowler backed right into Frederik Andersen. I don't know how Andersen was able to get his right leg on that shot. That's a big save from Andersen.
Perry cuts into the middle of the ice as he gains the Winnipeg zone. Fowler moves it ahead. 20 seconds left in the penalty to Slater. And the Jets again win a puck battle as Adam Lowry ices.
Well, Buffalo's been dominant down low. I mean, he goes into the corner, and 9 out of 10 times, in this game, he's been coming out of it with possession of the puck.
Lindstrom fires at the length of the sheet. The penalty is over to Slater. And the Jets are full strength, less than a minute to go in the period. The Ducks now 1 for 3 on the power play this evening. Lovejoy gets center red, gets it deep. Pavlik out to play it. Taps it along, but Cogliano sends it right back. Nate Thompson jostles forward in the corner. Silverberg comes in to help out, and he wins the puck. Jakob Silverberg turning away from Tobias Enstrom. Again reversing, still possessing the puck as he uses his body as a shield along the corner boards. Nate Thompson, he gets loose. 20 seconds in the period as he feeds it back to the line. Stoner sends it wide. Silverberg gets the carom there. Jakob Silverberg. Jets keeping the Ducks to the outside, doing a pretty good job here in the waning seconds of the period. Cogliano bumped hard behind the net. Stoner up the wall, throws it towards the goal. When off a leg comes across. Matt Halishuk or excuse me, it's Perreault, just tries to protect it, and he does long enough to get the horn, and the period comes to a close.
Yeah, I think the rust was evident in the opening 20. The 4 goals, all rebound goals scored. You can read the expression on Bruce Boudreau's face right there. He is not a happy camper as he goes back in. So the Ducks said they needed to get quick to get back to loose pucks in the defensive zone. They did that, but they didn't do a good enough job clearing pucks from in front of Frederick Anderson in the opening 20.
Stay with us. Coming up at the first intermission, the commissioner, Mr. Gary Bettman, will join Brian Hayward. But for the meantime, we go downstairs. Mark Rogandino standing by with Guy Hebert.
Yeah, thank you, John. Guy, we had a feeling that this may be the case after 20 minutes, as those guys were just alluding to upstairs. A little bit of a slow start for Anaheim tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that it was an emotional evening. There was a lot of sitting around, getting dressed, taking stuff off, trying to get ready to play the game. So I think the first 10 minutes were very difficult for them to get their heads wrapped around the game.
3-1 is your final after the first period here tonight inside Honda Center. Again, it's a tribute to Teemu Selanne night, but as John just mentioned, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman will join the conversation with Brian Hayward when we come back on Prime Ticket.
Anaheim Ducks Hockey is brought to you by Honda, official vehicle of the National Hockey League. Anaheim Ducks Hockey is brought to you by Honda, official vehicle of the National Hockey League. Well, many a hockey player wished they had legs like Teemu Selanne, but I'm not exactly sure this is what they had in mind. It is Teemu Selanne tribute night. 3-1 Winnipeg after 1. And before we begin the second period, let's go to the Ducks bench. Julie Stewart-Fink standing by with assistant coach Brad Lauer.
Thanks, Johnny. Brad, all of the Jets' goals came off of rebounds in the first period. How do you establish a more effective back check?
Oh, we talked about obviously we got to move our feet a lot quicker. We got to make sure we box out and battle a lot hard in front of our net and don't give up the second and third opportunities.
Thanks, Brad. Luck in the second.
Thank you.
Back to you, Johnny.
Thank you, Julie. Just about set to begin the second period of play. Ducks had this thing tied up just seconds after Winnipeg got on the board, 7:47 into it. But the Jets had answers. First 3 goals of the game came in a span of 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Ducks will begin the second period with the Palmieri, Bolesky, Kessler trio.
Same way we started the game. And a head-to-head battle between the Kessler line and the Little line.
Dustin Byfuglien +2 in that first period as the Ducks go offside. Just 8 seconds into the period, Byfuglien played over 7 minutes. He was his dominant self, to say the least, in the opening period, as he has been of late. He had 2 assists and was a +2 last night in Los Angeles as well. Brian, you talked about it, particularly on the penalty kill, how he was just dictating the play out there.
Well, he looks to me like he is a lot more comfortable playing back in the blue line. When we saw him the last time that the Ducks took on the Jets in Winnipeg, it was one of Byfuglien's first games back on the blue line. Turned the puck over several times, got caught making some bad decisions a few times as well. Haven't seen any of that tonight. I think he was definitely settled into the new role.
Bolesky puts it into the middle. That's a turnover. There's Byfuglien, makes a pass. Couldn't connect with Wheeler.
The turnovers for the Ducks have really created some issues for them.
Kessler steams to center. Bolesky can't handle the pass into the zone, but moves it forward, and around it comes. Off the wing, bit is knocked away as Perry snuck up the wall to keep it in. Anaheim in mid-change right now as the Jets clear the zone. Ducks onside as they send it hard around and in, and Lindholm jumps around Wheeler to keep it in behind the net. Perry in front for Maroon, turned away by Pavlik.
And again, you are allowed to pass that puck from behind the goal line anywhere you want in front of Pavlik. And Pat Maroon, boy, he is really struggling to find the back of the net. Stick blade down, ready to accept the pass. Not quite in his wheelhouse. He just shovels it towards Andre Pavlik, and you see the athleticism I was talking about with Pavlik. He gets down quick. He's got those very flexible hips, which allows quite a wide spread on his legs when he gets down into that butterfly. The entire bottom of the net virtually covered.
Maroon without a goal in his last 14 coming into tonight. And a very good opportunity there. Perry in on Sherratt. Shifley joins the fray along with Maroon, and Matthew Perreault just stick handles until he can get it up the wall to Buckner. Shifley has one of the 3 goals, hands it off. Perreault with speed, and his shot held by Anderson. Let's take a look at our American Honda 3-star leaderboard. Again, each time a Duck is named as a star in a game this season, we assign a point total to it. Frederick Anderson, second in the league with 22 wins coming into tonight, and is 6 points ahead of Sammy Votman and 7 up on the captain.
John, I was about to finish a thought on Judy Howard, who has been placed on IR by the Red Wings, who was selected to be one of the all-star goaltenders, and there has been some thinking that perhaps the replacement goaltenders could be a guy like Frederick Anderson.
Yeah, Howard was carted off the ice yesterday in that game against the Washington Capitals. It didn't look like anything that was going to bring him back into the Detroit lineup anytime soon. Groin injury was the report from the Red Wings medical staff. Not yet 2 minutes in to this, the second period. 3-1 Winnipeg. Ducks control the draw in their own zone. Fowler gets it ahead. Smith-Pelly stood up by Zach Bogosian in the neutral zone. Puck slips through Evander Kane. Oh my, they call that icing.
Passing just not quite where it needs to be. Remember that the Ducks have beaten the Jets in both previous encounters this season. We showed you the Paul Mary overtime winner. That came back on December the 7th. A week later, on December the 13th, it was a more convincing win in Winnipeg, a 4-1 victory that time. But right now, boy, they got some work to do, and here we see Paul Maurice again with that 4th line of his getting some extra ice time.
Anaheim has put 4 goals on the board in each of those wins. They're going to need at least 4 tonight if they're going to get 2 points here. Nate Thompson takes it away behind the net, and it's shoveled up and out by Ben Lovejoy. This will not go far enough for icing as Mark Stewart is back to get it. Stewart loses it to Smith-Pelly, and he lays it back to Clayton Stoner. His shot just lays in top of the goal crease, and finally Pavlik knifed it away.
It got caught up in the equipment of Mark Stewart.
Yeah. There's a good save by Pavlik. I believe Jackman got a touch on that. Votman just whipped it back towards the net.
It was kind of a gutty, gritty sequence for the Ducks in the offensive zone. A couple of people going to the front of the net and winning a battle this time for possession of the puck.
Cogliano couldn't get back on side, so we get a whistle.
And here was that play where Mark Stewart is not sure where the puck is. He blocks the shot. He's looking around for it. He actually had it, and then it dropped right down in front of him. He managed to clear at the last second. Another big rebound right out in front of the net. See the Winnipeg Jets collapsing down in front of Andre Pavlik, and that's the one I've seen so far. That's probably a real smart place to be whenever a shot is directed in the vicinity of your goal.
Comes right out in front off of Pavlik, and Wheeler covers up. The Jets have had trouble keeping it out of their net of late. They've surrendered 20 goals in their last 6 games coming into tonight. Well above their season average. They're 7th in the league in goals against. Which is a vast improvement over the previous season. Now Lindholm presses up the left boards, gets it below the goal line. Cogliano pursues from there, and it's hammered out. Wheeler gets a touch on it, but that shouldn't matter. He was on the wrong side of the red line, so icing is the result.
Maurice said during the offseason that he was going to really rededicate his team to playing defense, and defense first. And you talked about the numbers, John. Goals against last year, 2.82. This season, 2.37. So the Jets have made a significant advancement on the defensive side of the puck. Brian Little is just getting completely destroyed in the face-off circle. He wins that one, however. That's only the 3rd draw he has won tonight. He's taken 19 of them.
Well, he went up against Getzlaf there, who has been very good of late. Ryan, 63%, winning 12 draws against the Rangers here on Wednesday. Getzlaf, who has a 3-game scoring streak entering tonight, out there right now with Maroon and Perry. And they're trying to get it out of their own zone. Shifley all over Maroon. Pops straight up in the air, and Getzlaf comes away with it. Finds Perry into the Winnipeg zone. Sherratt comes over, gives him a two-hander. Loose puck behind the net to Getzlaf, who tries to center. Byfuglien denied that. Perry gets in on the forecheck. Byfuglien moves it away. And here come the Jets. This is the final meeting of the season between these two conference foes. Ducks find room in the middle of the ice here. Smith-Pelly. His shot deflected out of play as Sherratt came back.
Well, good play by Sherratt. Dustin Byfuglien went fishing in the neutral zone and did not see Devontae Smith-Pelly with a head of steam. And he got inside of Byfuglien. But look at Sherratt, boy, he really does a nice job of moving across to bail out Dustin Byfuglien. Ben Sherratt was not expected to be in the mix with the Winnipeg Jets. Started the season down in the American Hockey League, but boy, he's come up and done a real nice job. It'd be hard to get him out of the lineup right now.
23-year-old who is 6'3", 225. And with all the help that came back defensively for the Jets, Sherratt stays in the lineup, as you mentioned, Brian. Lovejoy getting one to the net. Palmieri, from a bad angle, whips it right through the top of the crease. Fowler keeps it alive, spins it down low. Smith-Pelly, engaged by Lowry, still wins the puck. Trying to turn away from Lowry, who works him over. And Smith-Pelly pulls away, only to lose the puck to Enstrom.
Lowry had a broken stick. And it was interesting the way he was working over Kyle Palmieri in the corner. So anytime a player drops his stick, first thing on his mind is I can't reach for anybody and I can't kind of grab anyone. But these little kind of punches, those are perfectly legal. As long as he does not use one of those arms to prevent Kyle Palmieri from moving one direction or the other, he's safe. A good piece of defensive work by the youngster.
He's been a pleasant surprise. Lowry, a third-round pick back in 2011. Got a new stick down. He's a hitter. He's top 10 in the league in hits. You can see the physical play. Not something he's allergic to.
They say you can't teach 6'5".
Yeah. Can't teach size. Face off from the neutral zone, controlled by the Jets. Motley comes back into his own zone, got help from Stoner up the wall, not out. Little kept it in. And now Motley trying to get away from Anthony Peluso, ahead to Jackman, who does tip it to neutral ice. Stewart turns it over, Ducks have to get onside. And forced to retreat is Nate Thompson. Standing room only at Honda Center here tonight. They did plenty of standing during the retirement ceremony for Teemu Selanne's number 8. The Ducks down 3-1 here. Long way to go, not even halfway through the hockey game as Jackman peels off the end boards. Boschman gets it to the net, and a save by Pavelec as Bolesky had a swat at it along the way. Raquel comes in.
A good save by Andre Pavelec. And Bolesky showed some fast hands there. And perhaps Andre Pavelec's best. Anaheim coming to life. A couple of good scoring chances here in the second.
The Jets on top 3-1 here in the second. It's a special night for a number of reasons. Teemu Selanne's number retired, but it's a special helmet, Brian, for Frederik Andersen as he pays tribute to number 8.
A special Teemu tribute mask is only going to be worn this one time by Frederik Andersen. Good look at Selanne up in one of the private luxury boxes here, looking on and watching the game.
He had the look of a concerned general manager, didn't he? He didn't look like a guy whose number just got raised to the rafters.
He's got an awful lot of friends
That competitive spirit
on
doesn't
the ice.
just go away.
You know what? I was down in the depths of Honda Center the other day. Tamo was in the building and talking with a number of the players, congratulating them on a great start to the season.
Here's Scheifele point blank, and Anderson denies him. Cogliano comes in, slashes his stick out of his hands, and the two of them exchange how do you do.
Frederick Anderson's got to be careful here. He grabs a hold of one of the Winnipeg forwards as well. Good stop by Anderson, his best of the night. Good quick challenge. Swallows it up in the midsection. And then Scheifele and Andrew Cogliano, Francois Beauchemin exchange how do you do's. And I like the way the referees handled this. There were some pretty good shots doled out on both sides of the ledger and no calls made. I also like the way that the referee goes over to Frederick Anderson, gives him a warning here. He says, hey, anything going on around your net, I don't want you grabbing hold of anyone. And when goaltenders get involved in skirmishes around the goal crease, usually they tend to go on a fair bit longer.
That was Brad Meyer who had the ear of Frederick Anderson after that play. Andrew Ladd serves it over. Sherratt's drive blocked by Getzlaf. Bounces right back to the slot and just swatting it away. On a last-ditch effort was Maroon. Byfuglien got it to the net. And a save by Anderson, but he couldn't corral the rebound. Little comes up with it. Dustin Byfuglien can really fire. Spinning it back into the crease is Wheeler. And it comes away from Maroon.
John, and Ryan Getzlaf's got trouble. He's going over to the Dutch bench, and he is in some kind of pain. He blocked that shot off the foot. And right now he is over there trying to walk it off.
He's hobbled behind the bench as the coaching staff tries to give him some space and play goes on. 12:10 to go, second period. A thus far scoreless middle frame. 3-1 Winnipeg as Perry gets a touch on it. And Byfuglien, as if he never comes off the ice, comes from behind his own net with it. Ducks turn it back as Vatanen is dumped and icing is the call.
Well, the primary concern right now is the status of the captain, Ryan Getzlaf, who continues to try and put some weight on that leg. Here's the block shot. You see him kind of spin. Players do that so that they got both blades at a 90-degree angle to the person shooting the puck, chances of them making the block much higher. But there's Getzlaf working his way back to the Ducks bench. Not going to the locker room, so that is a very good sign.
Stoner starts out of the Anaheim zone. His pass broken up by Lowry, who chops it back in. Vatanen covers up. Chased by Evander Kane. Up the boards, Vatanen gets it back and now slides it over to Stoner. Joining the rush and now leading the play into the Winnipeg zone. Smith-Pelly gave it to Kessler. He didn't have it for very long. Lowry loses it. Kessler right in front. Trying to spin and get it on net before he was finished.
Yeah, and the other thing that we're seeing with this goaltender, Andrei Pavlik, is that, again, complete coverage along the ice. And so you're going to have to elevate pucks if you're going to beat him, especially on first shots.
Halishuk with a bid that Anderson steers aside. Thompson trying to fight through Mark Stewart. Got as far as the Winnipeg strike. Thorburn reverses it, and Harrison quickly plays it ahead. Lindholm steps up, slides it over, hammered wide by Bolesky.
Yeah, puck rolling. Bolesky couldn't get all of it.
Three abreast the Jets the other way. Thorburn ahead. Slater for Peluso. It's in his skates. Lindholm, rink wide. Beauchemin gets center red, gets it deep. Pavlik out to stop it. Some of the best flow of the second period here as the teams go up and down the ice. Peluso bumped at the line, got it out. Fowler fumbles it right to Thorburn and then blocks his shot out of play.
So the Ducks with a couple of pretty good opportunities. Watch Ryan Kessler on the forecheck here. Has the puck come right to him. A little spinorama. And the overhead will show how close this is to getting past the right foot of Andrei Pavlik. And then Matt Bolesky leading the Ducks in goals this season. Rolling puck. Didn't get what he wanted out of that shot.
A lot of head shaking after looking up at the diamond vision above center ice from the Anaheim bench. Just about halfway through, 3-1 Winnipeg. Rickard Rakell, who has the Anaheim goal, moves it. Lovejoy flips it around, and Fowler's pass right through Rakell comes across to Silverberg. He lobs it ahead. Rakell gloves it down into the Winnipeg zone. Releases on the puck, goes in behind the net, tries to reverse it for Cogliano. Cogliano bodied along the boards, dumps Sherratt. They both go down, and the Jets come away with the puck. Scheifele leads it ahead, but can't get it back. Frolik slides it over, and Byfuglien will join the play. Dustin Byfuglien out of the corner, forced wide. And he ran into Ben Lovejoy. Outlet pass picked off by Scheifele, who brings it back in, and the Jets are onside. Michael Frolik on his backhand behind the net. Fans obviously thought it was offside. Now Lovejoy will return it behind the Anaheim goal. Lovejoy's pass ahead at center makes its way to Raquel, but no further as Bogosian stood him up at the blue line. Andrew Ladd ahead now for Blake Wheeler. Wheeler chips it in and pursues it himself.
Getzlaf over the boards. Good news for the Ducks. Captain back on the ice.
Big collision between Stoner and Bogosian, the two defensemen colliding along the near side wall. Around it comes and Little brushes it back for Enstrom. High slot, Ladd, glove save, Anderson. So a still scoreless second period. That means 3-1 Winnipeg.
Come back to Honda Center with Kyle Palmieri. You guys are starting to turn up the heat on Andre Pavelec, but what do you have to do to get a few pucks by him and get back in this game?
Well, he's giving up those second opportunities, and we just got to get guys to the net and keep putting pucks on the net, and a couple will go our way.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Johnny, back up to you.
Thanks, Kent. Palmieri with the lone assist on the Raquel power play goal in the opening period for the Ducks. Now has 8 points in his last 10. And it was because he just took the puck to the net that created the chaos and the rebound that Raquel was able to convert. Stoner trying to dig it loose off the far boards as the play in the Anaheim zone. Shoveled along by Sammy Vatanen. Bogosian all the way below the hash mark to keep it deep.
We've seen this from the start of the game. How aggressive the Winnipeg blue line has been. Pinching down, keeping pucks alive. We saw it again there from Enstrom.
And they got a little help on the point coverage, keeping it in. Bogosian rips it wide. And it's tipped back out center ice. The very mobile Tobias Enstrom back to get it. Tries to hand it off to Evander Kane, knocked off his stick by Kessler, who pursues him all the way behind the net. Lindholm kicks it into the zone. It was touched by Kessler, so the play is offside.
The Ducks. It's tough when your opponent is coming and sending their defense just screaming down the boards. And if your own defenseman can't make those direct passes, tape-to-tape passes in the defensive zone, you end up facing a lot of body contact, and usually the puck ends up bouncing off of bodies back into the corners in the D zone. We're seeing that a lot in this game. And credit the Jets. They have executed exactly what Paul Maurice wanted them to do so far in this game, and that's make life very, very difficult for Anaheim to move the puck out of their own zone.
Final game of a two-game Southern California trip for the Jets, who will return home to play the Florida Panthers next on Wednesday. The Ducks' next action also Wednesday night here at Honda Center as the homestand will continue with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Both these Western teams will face Eastern foes in their next outings. The Jets have struggled within the conference. They're 10-10-3 this season and have really struggled against the Pacific Division. Just 3-6-1. As Getzlaf gets one to the net, Pavelec is able to find it and cover up.
That time, Ryan Getzlaf was able to overpower Byfuglien just inside his own blue line. And he got to that puck, and away he went up the middle of the ice. But the Jets had lots of people coming back. Boy, a nice job. And again, look at all those white jerseys in the area immediately in front of Andre Pavelec. It's almost like they're saying, we're going to give you something up from the perimeter, but we think he can stop those shots from the side. We'll take care of the rebounds because we got so many bodies in that area.
Rickard Rakell able to control the draw. Cogliano to the front of the net. Silverberg hammers it just wide on a spinorama. Fowler trying to keep it in, but Peluso blocks it back. Slater strides ahead into the Anaheim zone, cuts to the middle, only to have his shot blocked to the corner. Jakob Silverberg quickly lobs it back to center ice. Cogliano gives chase, beaten to it by Harrison. Anderson sets it up for Lovejoy. Hard around off of Silverberg to the line, not out. Slater keeps it in. Dangerous pass across by Raquel, batted out of midair by Thorburn, who retreats. Jets want changes. That opens up the ice. Raquel takes the lead from Fowler. Into the Winnipeg zone, goes behind the back and behind the net for Cogliano. Back in front for Raquel. Score! Jackman was there as well. The Ducks are within a goal.
That's a great play by Andrew Cogliano, who just is going to throw a puck to the top of the crease area. Raquel, it looked to me, got a little touch on it, but didn't direct any kind of a shot towards the front of the net. There's the pass. It hits the skate, bounces right to Tim Jackman. And the player, John, that spends more time at the end of practice every single day working on a shot, boy, it's good to see him get rewarded.
Jackman draws back into the Anaheim lineup after being a healthy scratch here on Wednesday against the New York Rangers. So the Ducks are back within one. What is the only goal of the second period? Little fires, that's blocked. Corralled by Valesky, who rolls it back, and it's going to be an icing call against the Ducks.
Matt Valesky was looking for Nate Thompson, and he just had that puck roll off his blade. So the faceoff will come back all the way inside, blocked moments ago by Clayton Stoner up high. It's a funny game, isn't it? I mean, there's swings in momentum in this one. The Ducks coming on in this second period, out shooting. You see Winnipeg by a count of 21-15. Tim Jackman, he said to the referee, he was supposed to stay on the ice because of the ice, but he needs some kind of equipment repairs. There's a discussion with the official, and he is allowed to go and get business taken care of.
Cogliano and Raquel draw the assists at 13:38. Third of the year for Jackman. And the Ducks now down 3-2. Raquel with a goal and an assist in this game for Anaheim, his first multiple-point game of his NHL career. Vatanen hard around to an open Ryan Kessler. Hit by Frolik, who loses the puck. Frolik, who was a member of the Blackhawks Cup championship team in 2013. Still pursues as Stoner brings it to center and rims it around and in. Nice play by Palmieri. Stepped around Sherratt. Slides it in front. Kessler will let Lindholm handle it. Forced to the backhand. He goes to the corner. Thinks better of it, and his pass across broken up by Evander Kane. Tries to angle it back ahead, and a penalty is going to be drawn by Ben Sherratt, who had gotten a half step on Lindholm, who will go for interference.
A tough call.
Tim Jackman has put the Ducks back within a goal. 5 to go in the second.
Well, it's a tough call that goes against the Ducks here. Watch the race for the loose puck, and keep an eye on Sherratt's left arm. He kind of sticks it in front of Hampus Lindholm. Changes his shooting lane in towards Lindholm, and for that, Lindholm, who had both hands on his stick, gets called for an interference penalty. That is a tough call that goes against Anaheim. They need a kill here big time.
Ducks have been relying on Lindholm a good bit lately. He's played over 23 minutes in 2 of the last 3 outings. Second power play of the night for Winnipeg. They're 0 for 1. A quick shot by it was Ladd, and a good save by Anderson. Perron from the right half. Lays it back. Bufflin pulls the trigger. That's high and wide. Little kicks it loose. It squirts free, and Clayton Stoner serves it all the way down.
Bufflin is just so strong, isn't he? I mean, that puck, there's no windup sometimes at all. He just kind of snaps it. He gets the leverage on the shaft of the stick and just drills it.
Fans want an interference call, and now Brian Little just keeps laying on top of Jakob Silverberg. And linesmen try to untangle him. Play goes on as Wheeler brings it in. And the officials certainly were aware of what was going on, but they didn't want to call anything. Scheifele can't take it off his skate. Angled ahead for Silverberg by Cogliano. Quick shot, kicked away by Pavelec. Just an area pass off the boards, and Cogliano was able to put it ahead so Silverberg could track it down. Silverberg trying to chop it up the wall, and Scheifele sends it back to the line. Enstrom holds it in. Scheifele trying to bring it into the middle, knocked away by Lovejoy.
Ducks get some fresh bodies over the boards. Tough change in that second period.
Lowry stutter steps up the left boards into the Anaheim zone. Pinned to the wall there by Stone. Comes loose. Fowler drags it along. Able to move it to the near side. And Smith-Pelly does a good job to work it out. Enstrom pressured by Thompson. Final seconds of the penalty. And Thompson strips him from behind. Out of the box. Lindholm with up full strength. Stoner thought better of trying to stretch it to him coming out of the penalty box. And Votman will carry the mail. Coast to coast. In behind the net and poked off his stick. Enstrom with a diving play. Ducks keep possession. Perry finds an open motion. Over to Getzlaf. Right back to Francois, and hops his stick and vacates the zone. Ducks onside. Great move by Getzlaf. Pulls up, saucers it over. Perry redirected it right on. Pavelec covers up.
Oh, he didn't know where it was. He was trapped underneath the leg pads.
Thorburn and Maroon are trying to square off. They get rid of the gloves. It's the linesman they can't shake right now.
They got to be careful here, John, because if the linesmen jump in and you continue to throw blows, you can easily get hit with a misconduct penalty. I don't think Pat Maroon wants that. Thornburn's not going to play much the rest of this game with his team leading by 1. But the Ducks want Pat Maroon on the ice. They want that big body in front of Ondrej Pavelec. Here's the play. Getzlaf, the puck carrier. It's off the shin pad. And look at Pavelec. He has no idea where that puck is. He clicks the heels together. And he gets very fortunate that that puck stays underneath the leg pads of the goaltender.
2:28 remains in the second period. As you see, the pass was in the skates a little bit of Corey Perry.
Toby Enstrom is a small defender. He uses the longest allowable stick. And it pays off there. The sweep check of Sammy Votman. It really is amazing to watch Enstrom manipulate that stick. Can't shoot the puck because it's so long. You'll rarely see him take a slap shot. He'll just snap it to the front of the net. But it helps him out defensively for sure.
Oh, here's a 2-on-1 off the face-off, and Wheeler storms in, slides it over, and Anderson can't get there. Andrew Ladd makes it 4-2.
Just like that. Boy, what a turn of events. Hampus Lindholm is going to trip himself at the offensive blue line. Getzlaf wins the draw. The Jets, however, dig it out, and there goes Lindholm down. No one had touched him. It's a 2-on-1 break. Wheeler, what a beautiful pass across to Andrew Ladd. Lindholm just loses his balance, can't pivot and turn. The pass across is perfect to Ladd. Boy, Anderson almost gets there. Quick strike by the Jets restores the 2-goal lead.
And Ladd now with a 6-game scoring streak. He has 4 goals and 8 points in that span. The leading scorer for the Jets this season. Picks up his 16th goal of the season. He has 12 points in his last 9 games. Andrew Ladd's got it going on. And for the second time tonight, Winnipeg has a 2-goal lead. And we got a penalty call here. Are we going to get coincidentals?
Matthew Perreault was over by the boards, and somebody gave him a pretty good chop or an elbow. We've seen Matthew Perreault sell a call before. I thought it was going to be a slashing call, to be honest with you, John, when Perreault went down. Bolesky looks confused. Elbowing is the call. bit of a push right there. I don't see an elbow. Another look at it. Matt Molesky and Sherratt. Can't find it.
You can see why Molesky had a confused look. Ducks shorthanded for the third time tonight, and Kessler trying to press the issue. Loses an edge as Little defends him in the corner. And he works some precious time off the penalty clock. Ladd taps it back. And very careful is the Winnipeg power play. Third of the night for the Jets, who are 0 for 2 with the extra man. Wheeler swings it hard around. Little off his stick, pops straight up in the air. Thompson gloves it down. Kept alive, and Wheeler behind the net, pumped by Stoner. Gets it to Bufflin, who works his way up the right boards. Back to Wheeler. Brian Little, native of Edmonton, puts it behind the net. Wheeler steps in front, tries to stuff it on Anderson, who swats it behind the net. Less than a minute to go in the period, and another penalty coming up to Anaheim. Enstrom all the way below the goal line. As Pavelec to the bench, and the extra attacker is on. Anderson will cover up. And this is going to be a two-man advantage for 57 seconds for the Winnipeg Jets.
It's a high-sticking penalty. It looks like Sami Vatanen is going to get the gate. Vatanen is not voicing too much displeasure with that call.
He's trying to look up to see if he could see on the big board.
Here's the slash, and there's the stick. It comes up and gets Lowry across the helmet. So Vatanen sits for a couple of minutes. Boy, 20, there's almost the opportunity for the Ducks to get out of this if they can get through the end of the period. The Molesky penalty will almost be over with at that point. If they can get through to the end of the period, they've got a chance of killing off this 5-on-3. A good chance.
Well, stay with us. Coming up in our second intermission, the man of the hour, the man of the night, the man of the franchise, Teemu Selanne, will join us on set with Mark Rogandino and Guy Hebert. 43.8 seconds left. As Vatanen goes off. And it's a two-man advantage for the Jets. 43.8 left in the period, I should say. 57 seconds left in the initial penalty to Molesky, and a huge face-off win here for the Jets. Bufflin gets it through. Anderson holds on.
And Dustin Bufflin looked up. He saw Blake Wheeler stationed right in front of Frederik Anderson. And he said, you know what, maybe he can't see it. Let's see if I can pick a corner. He hits him right in the logo. Look at the reaction of Dustin Bufflin. He knows if he hits a corner there, it's in the net.
Bufflin picked up his 200th career assist earlier tonight on the Scheifele goal back in the first period. He got 3 points in the last two games. And again, the Jets control. Back to Bufflin, who's careful with the glove to keep it alive. Matthew Perreault, quick shot, and getting a stick on it was Anderson. 50-50, puck on the boards. Oh, wow. Bufflin absolutely destroys Boschman. And then jumping in to aid his teammate was, I believe, Ryan Getzlaf, who tried to challenge Dustin Bufflin. Well, I looked around. There was no call forthcoming. Bufflin looked like he got the stick, the elbows, and everything he could up high. Francois Beauchemin.
Well, Getzlaf does the right thing. That's a good hit. But, you got a player in a vulnerable position. Francois Beauchemin would love to have dropped the gloves. He didn't get the opportunity because Getzlaf jumped in. When you're on a 5-on-3 power play, and the team is desperate to clear that puck out of the defensive zone, they're going to have their head down at some point and reaching. And Dustin Bufflin just drills Francois Beauchemin.
Yeah, it was the follow-through of the right arm that was not on the stick by Bufflin that caught my eye, and now they've given
Winnipeg 33 2-minute roughing.
Getzlaf.
They're giving him an extra 2. Boy, oh boy.
He got. They announced 2 for roughing for each of them. They put the Getzlaf penalty up on the board.
Bruce Boudreau is saying why the extra 2. That's what he wants the explanation for. You know, Getzlaf went over to grab Byfuglien, but Byfuglien wasn't retreating.
Well, they each get roughing minors, and it's an unsportsmanlike conduct that's the additional 2 on Getzlaf. That penalty can't even start for 36 more seconds.
I'm confused about the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. If they were going to give him a 2 for instigating an altercation, it's a double roughing. Essentially, I just don't understand it.
So a lot of 5-on-3 for Winnipeg here as Enstrom, middle of the ice, hands it off. Little brings it to the middle and fires, and it's deflected wide. Ladd has it again. Final 10 seconds of the period. He got it to the net. Anderson steers it aside. Kessler will ice it. That's going to do it for the period. The third period will begin with the Jets on a 2-man advantage, and they have a 2-goal lead.
Well, the fans are confused by what is going on right now. The Ducks are heading to their bench. They got all kinds of people yelling at the referees right now. So it's going to be up to the Anaheim coaching staff to quickly get the composure back inside that locker room, take the temperature down a number of notches here, and a big job coming up at the start of the third period as 1 minute and 17 seconds of 5-on-3 power play time is what the Jets will start with.
Well, frustration in the building right now, but it was all love earlier as Teemu Selanne's number 8 was raised to the rafters. The man of the hour will join our Mark Rogandino and Guy Hebert when we return. Anaheim Ducks hockey is brought to you by Big Bear Mountain Resorts. Real snow, real close, real deal. And by Jack in the Box. The Chipotle Chicken Club Combo is back at Jack in the Box for a limited time. Anaheim Ducks hockey is brought to you by Honda, official vehicle of the National Hockey League. The Ducks down a pair as we get set to begin the third period of play. And I don't just mean on the scoreboard. They're down a pair on the ice for 1 minute 17 to begin the third period. As Brian Hayward mentioned, obviously, this is the watershed moment of the hockey game. If Anaheim hopes to come back, this first minute 17 could be something they'll look back upon. And a face-off win by Kessler allows Boschman to send it all the way down.
And little things like winning a neutral zone face-off. When you're down on a 5-on-3, that burns essentially 10-12 seconds off of this power play chance for Winnipeg.
Brian Little moves it around, and Andrew Ladd puts it to the point. Matthew Perreault, a 4th forward. Actually, there's 5 forwards out there right now as he and Scheifele man the points. Scheifele moves it down low, heads between the circles. In comes Perreault. His one-timer misses everything. 50-50 race for the puck, and Ladd able to poke it away from Boschman. Slides it over. Little drops it back. Perreault turned away by Anderson. Francois Boschman gets to the loose puck this time and ices.
There's that big stop I was talking about, and now just down to 30 seconds left in the penalty to Sami Vatanen.
The Getzlaf penalty began 14 seconds into the period as it was on delay. You cannot go 3 men down in this game. Ducks still down 2 men for 15 more seconds. Vatanen would vacate as Little chips it up the boards. Bad bounce, and Fowler will lift it all away.
Just a great effort. Here the Ducks win some battles for pucks. The Jets make a few mistakes handling it.
Here's Kane into the zone, and a big save with a blocker by Anderson.
Yeah,
now the Ducks only down a man, Brian, for 45 more seconds.
They get 2 big stops. 2 beauties from Frederik Andersen.
Frolik serves it out high. Scheifele gets it from Enstrom, gives it right back. They play catch. Mark Scheifele's pass redirected and then swatted away as Fowler clears for the second time and heads to the bench for a change. Enstrom back to get it now. 25 seconds left. As it's Palmieri who's serving the penalty, who waits to rejoin the play. Anderson stops it behind the net. Lovejoy puts it up on the glass and out. And Cogliano would have won the race. Oh, wow, Pavelec nearly fumbled it across the slot. He was 20 feet out of his goal.
Almost a gift. Pavelec not known as a good puck-handling goaltender.
The Ducks have killed it off, and now they can work on a 2-goal deficit. 2.5 minutes into this, the third period. Loose puck squirts to the near corner. Vatanen looks over his shoulder as he goes to pick it up. Stretches it ahead. Cogliano on his own, steps around. Mark Stewart has Perry in front, and it's poked off his stick as he tries to cut to the slot.
Yeah, Bogosian stretched out along the ice. He took away the passing option for Andrew Cogliano. Boy, Clayton Stoner just got hooked in the neutral zone, and the Anaheim bench is up in arms again.
Bushman delivers a big hit on Peluso behind the net, but the Jets come up with it. Around the boards for Stewart, who waits, got it to the net, but that was blocked about 5 feet in front, and Bushman sends it the other way. Here's Kessler into the Winnipeg zone. Ryan Kessler's shot is blocked across and lifted out by Matt Halishuk. Ducks have been energized by the penalty kill. You can see the pep in their step. Now Smith-Pelly leaves it for Kessler, and Pavlik got a piece. Devante couldn't get it in front to Corey Perry, and then his stick slashed away by Tobias Enstrom. Again, Kessler finds space, cuts into the middle, across the line, takes the shot, blocked by Enstrom, gets his own rebound, put it right out, fat rebound for Fowler, and another save by Pavlik through traffic.
Boy, his best. And again, it's that low shot and the ability for Pavlik to get down early and take away the bottom of the net. Great stop by him.
Well, quite a sequence as the Ducks stay alive in this game.
Anaheim shorthanded. They needed some big saves by Freddie Anderson. Boy, look at that redirect off the stick of Hampus Lindholm. He got his left leg on that one. He got his right shoulder on the top shelf bid by Evander Kane. And here comes Cam Fowler from the point, and he hammers it. He somehow gets it through. Went right between the legs of Blake Wheeler. But again, Pavlik plays the percentages. Gets down on his knees, spreads his feet wide, and takes away the bottom of the net.
Two-time Czech Olympian Andrej Pavlik keeping it 4-2. We're early in the third as the Ducks are trying to storm the castle after killing off a two-man disadvantage, and off the glove of Pavlik. It laid in the blue paint for what seemed like an eternity. Jackman puts his shoulder into his man. Frolik carries on into the Anaheim zone. Knocked away, Perreault trailing the play, and he spins Sammy Vatanen around behind the net. Winnipeg 0 for 5 on the power play tonight, including a full 2 minutes of a two-man advantage. Stewart's shot ricochets off a couple of skates. Perreault trying to bank it in from below the goal line. Stewart again. Can't find a shooting angle, so he throws it across. Jay Harrison puts it behind the net. Frolik on his backhand. Michael Frolik curls it down low. Perreault tried to center. That went off a skate. Scheifele is struck in the corner by Stoner, but he carries on. Big, strong young man, Mark Scheifele. Keeping the Jets on the perimeter. The Ducks defense. Ooh, and that's a troublesome moment for Anderson as just a wrist shot from Stewart was in his feet. Kane behind the net. Wins the battle. He got it away from Vatanen and whipped it right through the crease.
Jets able to change.
Goaltender interference coming up here. This is going to go against Evander Kane.
Evander Kane, this is not a smart penalty for Evander Kane. The Jets, I'm sure in their locker room, had to have the discussion. Look, there is such a disparity in power plays. Don't do anything stupid. You know what? Anderson steps into him. Frederik Anderson steps outside of his goal crease. And Evander Kane is saying, hey, Anderson sells the call. He draws the penalty. Paul Maurice knew it was coming. And now can the Ducks take advantage?
What was it Bruce Boudreau said to us this morning? Sometimes you don't do anything, and at the end of the day, you look down and you took 5 penalties. Fourth power play of the night for Anaheim. The Ducks have been shorthanded 5 times. Just saying. So a big chance for Anaheim here. They're 1 for 3 with the extra man tonight, as the Jets will send it all the way down, and it's Anderson who gloves it. Boschma ahead in the skates of Perry, but he kicks it back, and Anaheim will regroup. Getzlaf picked up by Lowry at center, and then Byfuglien knocks it into the Winnipeg bench.
Well, the Jets have been all over Ryan Getzlaf in this game, and you you know that they were going to be. Getzlaf had 5 points in the first 2 games against Winnipeg this year and totally dominated both contests. Tonight, he's just got 1 shot on goal. His winger, Corey Perry, by the way, leads all Duck forwards with shots. He's got 5, and that's a very good sign moving forward. I still think Corey Perry is getting back to full speed. He's not there yet.
To your point, Brian, Perry had 6 shots on goal in his first 4 games since returning from the knee sprain. And anytime Perry's getting shots on goal, that's a good thing for the Ducks. Anaheim still with over a minute of power play time. As Raquel winds it up, he's figured in both Ducks goals tonight, scoring one and assisting on the other, but his cross-ice pass ricochets off the boards. Palmieri gets it back with some help from Kessler. Got it on net, swept away as it fell out of the glove of Pavelec. Raquel has it again in the corner, picked up by big Dustin Byfuglien. Palmieri tries to help out. Ducks outnumber the Jets in the corner, and Palmieri trying to kick it to the front. Score! What a play! Palmieri on the backhand. That's highlight reel stuff.
We've got a game now. We call Palmieri with those quick hands. Pucks goal number 7. And look at the battle. Byfuglien's having a tough time getting a hold of it. He's hacking and chopping away.
It's the feet of Palmieri.
Yeah, he kicks it up right through Andrew Ladd, and then it's the quick release between the arm and the body of the netminder. And a little bit of the business from Kyle Palmieri to Ondrej Pavelec, and the Ducks close within 1.
In the NFL, they might have thrown a flag and called that taunting, but instead it's a 1-goal game. And I believe Rickard Rakell is going to pick up an assist, which means he has figured in all 3 Anaheim goals tonight. And it's 4-3, so for the second time, Anaheim draws within 1. And here comes Ben Lovejoy out of his own zone. Off the stick of Silverberg, he denies a clearing attempt as he took it off the shoulder. Thompson in behind the net. Gives chase, and Perreault able to move it up. It is Rakell and Botman on the assist, so Rickard Rakell with a career night has a goal and 2 assists. And the Ducks are just down 1. Perreault, hounded by Silverberg in the neutral zone, finally finds Mark Stewart. Long way to go, 12:40 left at Honda Center. Boschma picks it up from Freddie Anderson. Anaheim with 2 power play goals in the game, and now it's Getzlaf who storms into the Winnipeg zone. Followed up by Smith-Pelly, who just rifled it right through the crease.
Yeah, good job by Getzlaf, too, to avoid contact there with Ondrej Pavelec.
Lindholm drops back and finds his defense partner. Boschma up the middle, and quickly on the backhand, Getzlaf only as far as center ice as Stewart steps up to deny that.
Keep in mind, Winnipeg played last night in L.A.
Getzlaf loses the handle right to Anthony Peluso. His backhander turned away by Anderson, who holds the near post. Lindholm careful to drop it back. Boschma under pressure moves it ahead. Perry finds Lindholm trailing the play. Getzlaf gets it only as far as the Winnipeg stripe. Ben Sherratt lifts it across. And Peluso offside at the Anaheim line. The Ducks' power play has found life with a pair tonight. And what a goal by Kyle Palmieri. He made sure to tell Ondrej Pavelec. Anaheim Ducks hockey is brought to you by Dodge Challenger. Go to Dodge.com or visit your local dealer to schedule a test drive today. Well, Teemu Selanne told us during the second intermission the Ducks are a good third-period team. So far, he's been clairvoyant as he looks on. Anaheim has pulled it within 1.
And they are looking for a little Teemu Selanne magic here in this third period. How many times, by the way, in his career did we see Teemu Selanne score that big goal in the third period to either win it or tie it?
Every time. Kessler got a piece and forced Pavelec to cover up. And in case you're just joining us, you missed them raise his number to the rafters. And once we started playing hockey, our Hyundai Games summary shows that it's been quite a night for Ricard Raquel. His first multi-point game. It's a 3-point game for him. Kyle Palmieri has a multi-point game going as well, and young Mark Scheifele has been very impressive. The Jets have led all the way. We were tied once, 1-1. It's 4-3 right now.
Yeah, here's Kessler against Little, and I mentioned that Kessler had his way with Brian Little so far in this game, but Little able to win that one.
Palmieri steals right down the middle, tries to go backhand again. It was blocked by Harrison. Stoner steps into it, and Pavlik steps out.
How about Kyle Palmieri? Boy, he just throws his shoulder into Dustin Byfuglien. A little guy taking on the much larger man, and but the Ducks are battling here.
Palmieri, when he's been in the Anaheim lineup this season, has been such a big factor. But the story of his season has been injuries, unfortunately. 2-point night tonight for Palmieri. 19 games, 12 points. Raquel lays it back. Stoner thinks better of stretching it, slides it over to Vatanen. He'll stretch it off the stick of Raquel. The Ducks will get changes. And Bolesky flies in after it. Gets inside. Scheifele tries to help out. Nate Thompson is there. And he's quick to pounce on it. Boschma all the way below the hash mark. Back to Bolesky. Keeps it deep. Thompson got inside on Bogosian. Tries to bring it to the front of the net. He gets upended. And up the middle, the Jets clear Perreault. Got it ahead, and behind the play, a slashing call on Mark Scheifele.
It was going to come. Well, disciplined play by the young centerman Scheifele. The referee was standing 10 feet away. And Scheifele had just made a real smart pass into the middle. He took a slash from Matt Bolesky on his hand. And it was the retaliation call. Bolesky gets away with the initial slash. Scheifele gets nailed for the retaliation, and the Ducks back on the power play. My goodness, what a game.
So Anaheim 2 for 4 on the power play tonight. Now we'll get their 5th opportunity. Kessler steps in to oppose Jim Slater. He wins the draw right to Vatanen, and his shot is blocked. Stewart got in the way of that. He's one of the top shot blockers in the league. Anaheim retrieves possession, though. Lindholm's shot came right to Palmieri. Vatanen steps up, sliding over. Pavlik gets there.
Yeah, good stop by Andre Pavlik there. Boy, oh boy. Puck changes direction on the shot and ends up straight on the stick of Sammy Vatanen, but Pavlik does a good job getting position, getting those shoulders squared up.
How energized is Kyle Palmieri right now, Brian? You gotta get him on the ice. He is involved in everything. As you said,
hungry.
taking on bigger players.
He looks just so hungry right now to get the loose pucks.
He'll pursue it behind the net. And he jostles there with Ben Sherratt. Excuse me, it's Jay Harrison up the boards. Lindholm keeps it in, goes behind the back to find Kessler. He'll let it go. Fought off by the shoulder of Pavlik and cleared by Jim Slater.
Now, Kessler looked up. He saw Palmieri right on the doorstep. He was hoping that the goaltender wouldn't get a good peek at that one. Pavlik able to look around the screen in front of Palmieri and locate that puck. All of a sudden, Andre Pavlik has become a factor in this game as the Ducks are starting to pour it on. See the Palmieri not quite in the eyes of Andre Pavlik there. And he was able to get a good peek at the Kessler bid. I was talking earlier, John, about Dustin Byfuglien and his ability to snap the puck without any kind of a wind-up, no backswing whatsoever. And Ryan Kessler's another one of those guys. A little quick snap of the wrist, puts all the leverage down on the shaft of the stick, and he gets a lot behind those snapshots.
The Ducks' shots on goal leader of the season is Ryan Kessler. He is the team leader tonight with 7 shots on goal. And oh, by the way, 15 of 21 in the face-off circle. So while Kessler has not appeared on the score sheet as yet, he's played a big role. And the Ducks still on the power play, looking for the equalizer. Getzlaf works the half wall. Slides it down low, gets it back from Maroon. Into the middle. Quick pass right back to the captain. At the line, it's Boschma. Over to Fowler. Lets it go. Rebound. Perry drags it to the corner but can't pull the trigger. Back to the line for Fowler. 35 seconds left of the man advantage. Perry curls off the wall. Careful. Gets it over. Boschma lets it go. Blocked. Wheeler got in the way of that one, and then he wins a puck battle and angles it off the glass and out.
Oh, what a block. Very important block there by Wheeler as the Ducks had great pressure.
Fowler feeds it back in. Getzlaf gets the lights moving. Perry walks in front. Tried to go short side in the left pad, and Pavlik kept it out.
That time, Andre Pavlik able to seal off that short side. Well, Corey Perry was attacking the goal crease. As a goaltender, you know, a player like Perry has got that long reach, and you're hoping that your defense will prevent him from dragging the puck into the middle. He knew the Buffalo was there, so Perry didn't have any option other than try and get it up into the top shelf, short side corner, and Pavlik just wouldn't make it available for him.
Andre Pavlik looks up and he sees 8:28 to go in the game. You get the feeling that clock may not be moving fast enough for him. Final 10 seconds of the Anaheim power play. Silverberg churns up the boards. He got inside on Mark Stewart. Pokes it behind the net. Thompson tries to center. Stewart denied it as he was looking for Cogliano. Cogliano battles, leaves the puck for Silverberg. Pokes it back to the line. Lindholm with the penalty over. Goes to the net. Can't save Pavlik. Boy, that one got through a sea of legs and skates. The Ducks now 2 for 5 on the power play tonight as the penalty is over. Vatanen into the middle. Cogliano tries to split the defense. He peels back and looks for Silverberg. Silverberg behind the net. Able to beat Jay Harrison to it. Harrison works him over, and it's chopped up by Enstrom. Frolik will get it to center and angle it in. Perreault all over Sammy Vatanen. Loose puck comes to Silverberg. He got tripped up. No call. Then down goes Frolik. Play goes on. Rinkside, or rink-wide pass, I should say, out of the reach of Raquel. So Lindholm has to go back after it. Forced from behind the net by Andrew Ladd. He'll hand it off. 7:20 to go in the game. 4-3 Winnipeg on top. Jets have never trailed. Bogosian behind the net. Leaves it for Brian Little, who picks it up and sends it ahead. This one will go all the way back into the Anaheim zone, and icing is the call.
Lots of pressure coming from the Ducks. They've been in this position before. 20-6 in one-goal games this year. And Bruce Boudreau has said so many times they just never feel like they are out of a game. They've come from behind numerous times this year. Tie games up late and win them in overtime or in a shootout.
Their last 10 wins in this building have all been by one goal. They seem to be following a script. Sherratt off the one face-off for the Jets will clear. That one off the skate of Ladd, but he was on the wrong side of the red line, so once again, icing the call against the Jets. Now keep in mind, that's back-to-back icings. Paul Maurice used his timeout at the end of the second period when the Jets began a two-man advantage. So he can't help his troops out here, and if you're the Ducks, you want to get into the circle and drop the puck.
Yeah, Boudreau summoned Ryan Kessler over to the bench, whispered him something in his ear, and Kessler relayed the information to his wingers.
This is one of those instances where they won't throw the centerman out for the Jets, and now Kessler broke his stick as he does win the draw. Fowler drives up the boards behind the net. Centers, went right through Nate Thompson and all the way out of the zone. Ducks about shot the Jets. Here Lovejoy loses the puck and it's hoisted over top by Wheeler.
I think Wheeler, and you pointed it out, John, the fact that he was tired and had been on the ice for a while, he was handed a gift. He just didn't have the energy to make anything happen with it.
That's a break for the Ducks, who've outshot the Jets 13-6 in this period, and now it's Anaheim's turn to be called for icing as the home run pass is off the mark intended for Perry.
And Lovejoy had the puck, looked up, and then he fanned on the pass. It goes right to Wheeler. He's thinking top of the net, and he hoists it about 1.5 feet wide. He's just admiring his handiwork, or lack thereof, up on the overhead scoreboard here. A big rangy guy.
6'5".
Blake Wheeler.
Native of Minnesota. He played his college hockey at the University of Minnesota. Was a U.S. Olympian last February. Teammate of Cam Fowler's, who handles the puck behind the net. Lovejoy trying to stretch it, and the bounce goes wide of the Winnipeg goal. Pavlik plays it, no icing. Enstrom rims it around. In the skates of Matt Halishuk The one-time New Jersey Devil and Nashville Predator plays it back.
John, we've talked about the addition of Ryan Kesler and what that has meant for Ryan Getzlaf this season. And I think that was a moment ago a perfect example of it. Kesler takes the defensive zone draw. As soon as the puck goes into the neutral zone, he's heading to the bench and Getzlaf's jumping over. He does not have to take as many draws as we have seen in years past.
Getzlaf battles for it below the goal line in the Winnipeg zone. Pinching up the wall was Lindholm. Couldn't keep it in, and Kane rolls it back. It won't go far enough for icing. Boschman weaves his way away from Michael Frolik. Lindholm up the near boards. Getzlaf whips it across. Kicked ahead by Boschman and into the Winnipeg zone. Silverberg couldn't get to it, and once again, Winnipeg called for icing.
Now, this is good news for the Ducks. And you can see their players now jumping off the bench with every defensive zone draw that the Jets take as a result of an icing. Anaheim players, they just sprint right to the face-off circle, and they want the linesman to drop the puck. The Jets players are trying to buy time. And right now, the linesman is picking stuff off the ice, and if I'm Rickard Rakell, I'm saying, will you hurry up and drop the puck, please?
Derek Amell set to drop it. Rakell battles Perreault, and Matthew Perreault controls. Sherratt behind the net, shovels it along, comes back behind the goal, and Cogliano got slashed. He couldn't play it, and again, it's just lobbed all the way down by the Jets, and Stoner no icing this time, forced to reverse. Rakell wins a puck battle out of the corner, and away come the Ducks. Hands it off to Stoner. Strides all the way to the blue line, now into the Winnipeg zone. Got it on net, fat rebound, and Rakell nearly snuck it short side.
Rickard Rakell again. He has been so good in this game tonight.
He's got it behind the net, can't feed it in front. Silverberg battles Perreault to the near wall. And Perreault will clear. This one bouncing all the way down, and this will be an icing call against the Jets. 4:28 to play. A strong Winnipeg contingent in the building when you consider the events of the evening, the retiring of Solani's number, and they didn't like the icing call.
That time Pavlik puts the rebound in the right spot. Unfortunately for him, it was right to Rickard Rakell, who was almost in the corner of the ice, forced the goaltender again to get across and make a good stop.
Kessler hurries into the circle as Perreault to oppose him. And he kicks it back to Fowler, who works up the wall to keep it in. Fowler heads to the net. Pass across Kessler. A sprawling save by Pavlik. Oh, my. How did that stay out?
How did it stay out, and how was there not a penalty as Ryan Kesler attempts to shovel this in? Look at the hook. No call. And it remains a one-goal game. What a stop.
It's Miller time, as promised, brought to you by our good friends at Miller Lite. And what else could it be on this Teemu tribute night? But the banner with the number 8 going to the rafters at Honda Center. This was the ceremony pregame as Teemu Selanne and his family. You know, it had to be a very special moment for them. Look on, and it takes its rightful place in the rafters at Honda Center, where it will stay for all eternity.
A great-looking banner.
So Anaheim down 4-3, wins the draw, and Fowler just last-ditch effort pokes it below the goal line. Palmieri gets it back to the point. Fowler trying to rim it ahead, and it's rifled wide. Up steps Lovejoy, but he can't keep it in. Wheeler has it stripped by Palmieri. Boy, has he been good. Not only in this game, but in this third period. Smith-Pelly redirects it. And then after it go Kessler and Palmieri. They team up to get it back. Palmieri on his backhand centers, but Ladd between the circles picks it off. 3:45 to go, 4-3 Winnipeg.
You know, Winnipeg just playing by the score now. They're not even trying to get anything on even man rushes. They're just getting pucks in deep, flooding the neutral zone.
Third period shots 19-7 in favor of the Ducks. And now outshot the Jets 39-29. Bolesky in front, Getzlaf wide. Well, he had to take it off of his skate up to his stick. By the time he did, he'd gone a little far. Now Perry loses it behind the net to Byfuglien. Angled back, and Lindholm got inside as he beat Matt Halashuk to it. Getzlaf circles the net. Flushed out by Halashuk. He turns away from it. Getzlaf hard off the boards to center. Perry goes rink wide. Valesky releases on the puck. Boschman throws it towards the net. Valesky follows up and a stick save by Pavelek. Bounces in front. Scheifele puts it on the dasher. Halishuk pokes it up the boards. Not out, now knocked down. And Sherratt takes it behind the net, then spins it up the dasher and back. Getzlaf changing as Raquel had come over the boards already, and they had to orchestrate that so as not to have too many men on the ice.
All Winnipeg can do right now to get the puck out of their zone and get it to center. The Ducks are just a ferocious forecheck here in the late stages.
Sherratt angles it off the boards. Let's go Ducks is the chant as Anaheim forces the issue, stepping up in the neutral zone. Just 2:05 left to play. Byfuglien turns it over behind the net in front. Score! Raquel! They just keep doing it. And that guy called the shot.
What a night for Rickard Rakell. 4-point night. Silverberg with a forecheck. Boy, Paparone with a nifty little fat pass.
Look at that play, though.
And watch this. Watch what he does. He kicks this puck up between his feet. Skate to stick and into the back of the net, and the Ducks come all the way back once again.
He had one career regular season goal coming into tonight. He has 2 so far tonight. 2 goals, 2 assists for Rickard Rakell, and we're tied at 4 with 2 minutes to play.
The Ducks have had the last 10 shots on goal in this game.
And they get it deep again as Smith-Pelly sent it in. Cogliano steals. Can't keep it in the zone. It's swept in on the backhand by Francois Beauchemin. Anaheim will get changes as Bogosian has time from behind the Winnipeg net. Little being hooked by Maroon. Loose puck to Palmieri, and he loses it. Trickles between the circles, and Bogosian careful to take it behind the net. 41 Anaheim shots on goal to this point. And again, the Jets turn it over at center. Here's Palmieri. And that was blocked by Enstrom.
Oh, what a nice play by Enstrom.
Maroon tries to find Palmieri. That's broken up. Cross ice pass from Halishuk. Misses Evander Kane. Ooh, Vatanen careful as he threw it into the middle of the ice. Halishuk does the same. Perry is steamrolled by Byfuglien.
Right in back, drilled. Byfuglien again.
And Lowry brings it the other way. Anderson makes a great save at the other end while everyone tries to step up for Perry. Maroon grabbed Byfuglien.
It would not have counted. The referee, the backside official, had blown the whistle.
I think Anaheim's going to go short-handed here.
But Corey Perry got hammered. And then Kessler came over along with Paparone, and you're right. Boy, this is a bad penalty for the Ducks to take. They had everything going their way, and Ryan Kessler comes to the aid of Corey Perry, but you know, sometimes you just got to accept being hit in this game. You cannot always retaliate.
It was a clean hit from Byfuglien in the neutral zone. Perry just had his head down a little bit, was turning to his left. Byfuglien was coming from his left. And now the 6th power play of the night for Winnipeg begins with just under a minute to go in regulation.
They lost their best faceoff man, Ryan Kessler.
And Little off the left wing half wall. Puts it down low. From behind the net, Blake Wheeler feeds it back out high. Byfuglien's one-timer tipped out of play. No, and now they do realize it went in the netting off the stick of Sami Vatanen.
Well, they're probably going to check the clock here. That puck went up into the netting off the stick of Sami Vatanen.
Well, a reminder, stay with us when this one is complete, whenever that may be. It's Ducks Live, brought to you by Mazda. We will look back on what has been a momentous and historic day here in Anaheim Ducks history.
Ryan Getzlaf has only won 2 out of 8 faceoffs tonight in the defensive zone. Former teammate Matthew Perreault beaten by Getzlaf.
He got a lot of help from Sami Vatanen, who stepped in, pulled it out of the fray, and cleared the zone. Ladd pressured at center by Thompson. Plays it back for Byfuglien. The fans booing Byfuglien. He's been a physical force in this one as he dumps it in. It eludes Anderson behind the net. Stoner battles for it along with Vatanen again. It squirts loose, and Sammy Votman comes up with it, and he's able to roll it out to center ice. Thompson gets to it. Tries to get it to the net short-handed. Havlik taps it to the corner. 5 seconds left in regulation. Thompson lays it back. Smart play by Lindholm, who stepped up. He knew there was a man behind him. And we will go to overtime tonight at a sold-out Honda Center.
The fans are loving it. A great effort by the Ducks. So what a night for Rickard Rakell in Anaheim. At least a point bank. See what they can do next.
Well, there is our Land Rover player of the game. Who else would it be? 2 goals, 2 assists for Rickard Rakell tonight. He has figured in all 4 Anaheim markers.
Yeah, it's been quite a night. It was Kyle Palmieri. Ducks on the power play, dragged it into the crease. Rakell mopped up on the rebound for his opening goal of the game. And then here it was late. Well, the tying goal is a thing of beauty. Great hand shown by Rickard Rakell, his 4th point of the night. The game tire late sends this one into overtime.
Brian, the first time these teams met this season in Winnipeg at MTS Center, December 7th, it was Kyle Palmieri in overtime who got the game winner.
Remember this shot? I mean, it was just stunning. The building went silent. There was no room whatsoever for Palmieri on the short side. Maybe had a couple of inches over the right shoulder of Havlik. He found it. Palmieri's been very, very good this game,
too. He's been terrific as well. Overtime will begin, however, with the Ducks down a man. 1:03 remains on a roughing minor taken by Ryan Kessler as he responded to a big hit on Corey Perry. So 4-on-3 to begin the extra session.
And you worry about Byfuglien. The 4-on-3, usually the cross-ice pass for the one-timer is available. And Dustin Byfuglien may have the most overpowering shot in the game today. And
well,
what a weapon in a 4-on-3 he presents.
Back-to-back overtime games for the Jets, who are 3-4 in games decided in the 5-minute overtime. The Ducks are 4-2. Each team has earned a point. What we still need to decide is who gets 2 tonight. The Jets have never trailed, and Byfuglien brings it into the Anaheim zone. Ridden off the puck by Lindholm. They both go down in the corner. And a quick whistle as it was underneath Dustin Byfuglien. Now it's a question of where is his face-off going to be.
Yeah.
And it's going outside. And that will meet to the approval of the Ducks, no doubt.
It's the right call. I mean, the referee's explaining himself to Dustin Byfuglien. I think what he's saying is, look, I thought you were in a vulnerable position there. The puck was near your face. The defensive players were starting to poke at it. And that's why he blew the whistle as quickly as he did.
Byfuglien trying to get his sleeve back over his elbow pad. And that's the reason they're waiting to take this face off. But if this is an equipment issue, finally Brad Myers says, you got to go sit on the bench. Because if you got an equipment issue, that's where you deal with that, not on the ice.
Ducks bench, they were all up and yelling.
Byfuglien finally got the elbow pad inside the sleeve, but to no avail. He has to at least start the shift back on the bench.
Enstrom's just going to stand on the ice, and then Byfuglien will jump right back over the boards in all likelihood.
50 seconds left in the penalty to Kessler. We're just 13 seconds into overtime. And Little to oppose Devontae Smith-Pelly. Byfuglien stays on the bench as Enstrom brings it into the Anaheim zone. Good hit by Beauchemin, who got him with the hip check, and Smith-Pelly lifts it all the way down.
A real good play by Beauchemin. He gets the hip into him. He does not lose his footing either.
Byfuglien jumps over the boards. He's back out on the power play as Smith-Pelly trying to find it in his feet. To the line, Byfuglien will hold it in. He'll walk it across. 20 seconds in the power play. He and Andrew Ladd play catch. Byfuglien hears it from the fans, gives it to Brian Little. Takes a high-risk shot that misses everything.
Yeah, they're just looking for the quick shot and the screen in front.
Bad bounce out of the corner, and Wheeler chops it right across the top of the crease. Ladd couldn't get a stick on it. Ladd does get it across. Little takes a shot, blocker saved by Anderson. Loose in front, Smith-Pelly hammers it all the way down. Havlik comes out to get it because Kessler's out of the box. So the Ducks 6 for 6. Here's a turnover. Kessler in. Save made by Havlik. He didn't know where the rebound was. But Byfuglien is there to cover up. Now it's Perreault. Kane fell down at center. Perreault brings it in. Bogosian joins the rush. His shot is blocked. Getzlaf tips it ahead. Here's Palmieri one-on-one, and he loses it to Enstrom. Well, there's a lot of fumbleitis tonight with the puck. Enstrom brings it through center and gets it into the Anaheim zone.
Kind of exciting now, isn't it?
Oh, it has been every bit of that. Let's go Ducks is the chant. Anaheim with 42 shots on goal. They've never led. We're in overtime, tied at 4. 3:05 left in the extra session. Enstrom uses the boards up the near wall. Oh! Stoner just steamrolled Scheifele. Perry onside. Corey Perry. Save Pavelec. And Scheifele returns the favor on Stoner at the whistle.
They're not calling much now, and they haven't been for the last few shifts of this game. And there's plenty of time left in this overtime. Ryan Kesler, boy, Palmieri again. It was Kesler that disrupted the bid. All over the hands was Bogosian. Big stop by Pavelec right there with the left leg. He just jams it. Dustin Byfuglien had doled out a couple of these earlier in the game, and Clayton Stoner said, you know what, I'm going to have a little bit of fun. Big hit on Scheifele.
That's an ouch, babe. Wow, was that a hit. Face off to the left of Pavelec. Raquel wins it, but too cleanly as it gets by Stoner. Vatanen retreats into his own ice. We're tied at 4 in overtime. A game that has seen 73 shots on goal. And the pass up the middle, hops over the stick of Jakob Silfverberg. Back comes Evander Kane. His shot blocked by Anderson.
Boy, Evander Kane, I mean, you look at the numbers of Kane, and you think there's got to be more. He only had 6 goals going into tonight's game. He's so strong and so quick. You see how well he releases that puck.
He's missed 15 games due to injuries and a suspension for a hit on Clayton Stoner as well. So
but this is a guy that he should be a 40-goal scorer. I mean, you look at the skills that he possesses.
Kesler now with 9 shots on goal in this game and 5 grade A scoring chances amongst them. Smith-Pelly forced to carry it out of his own as he's draped by defenders. Andrew Ladd brings it back. Ladd weaves his way in, drops it off for Tobias Enstrom. And he ran into Kesler, who sweeps it away. 2:05 left in overtime. Bogosian all the way behind his own net. A New York State native. Starts back. Let's go Ducks. The chant in the building. Brian Little feeds it over. Ladd's one-timer just wide.
Deflected. Deflection in front of the net.
Chipped along. Kesler loses it. Bogosian got it on net. And Anderson to the rescue. Boschman looks up. Stretches it for Kesler. He can't catch it cleanly at center. And they're going to rule that icing.
Oh, boy. Too bad. Francois Boschman kind of flips the stick over. He saw Ryan Kesler before that, though a deflected shot did not miss the Anaheim net by much. Watch this. Cross-ice pass. Here's the one-timer. It's off of Kesler, and boy, that misses by about maybe 6 inches.
So the Ducks will use their timeout as we're down to 97 seconds left in overtime. Winnipeg scored first, the Ducks tied it, and then twice the Jets went up by 2, 3-1, 4-2. Anaheim with 2 goals in the third, including the game tire by Rickard Rakell with just over 2 minutes left in regulation.
And what a night it has been for Rickard Rakell. He ties a Ducks single-game rookie record with his 4 points tonight. The other 2 gentlemen, Ryan Getzlaf did it in 2006. Stan Cheestop, a name from the past back in 2002 with a 4-point night.
Rakell getting his due as they show that stat on the Diamond Vision above center ice, and then they show him and the crowd responds. Face off to the left of Frederik Andersen, who has done yeoman's work. He's kept the Ducks in it. Twice down by 2. He has 28 saves to his credit tonight. And Scheifele, after taking that big hit from Stoner, takes the draw against Kesler, who controls it. Boschman reverses it away from him, and Hampus Lindholm settles things down. Minute and a half left in overtime. Scheifele watches Lindholm from the other side of the net, and up left wing he finds his defense partner. Boschman all the way across ice. Perry in his feet, engaged by Sherratt. In comes Boschman to help Getzlaf, and they can't dislodge the puck. Byfuglien lays it off. And now Sherratt tries to turn back with it. Dustin Byfuglien starts from behind his own goal. Now 1 minute to go in overtime. Plays it off the boards and stepping up. There's Lovejoy forcing it back into Winnipeg ice. And it will come across. But Fowler can't get there in time to keep it in. Now he'll lay it back. Lovejoy and Fowler come out of their own zone. Winnipeg trying to change, and ahead they'll get it to Getzlaf. Drops it off to Fowler. Middle of the ice. He gains the line over to Perry. Fakes the shot. Now just gets it deep. Around the boards it'll come. Getzlaf puts his head down and tries to get there. He did keep it in. Perry tries to jump around. Does. Back to Getzlaf. And his pit is blocked. Oh, he looked to make a pass. Now Kane streaks up the right side. Offside of the Jets.
Watch what happens with Matthew Perreault as he gets near the offensive blue line. Ryan Getzlaf, the back checker, actually gives him a shove from behind and pushes him offside. Before that, Getzlaf had an opportunity, tried to make the play down low to Corey Perry. But as the Jets move the puck off the ice, watch the left side of your screen and watch what Ryan Getzlaf does. Right there, a little push sends Perreault in ahead of the play offside.
Final 15 seconds of overtime. Stoner takes a hit as he tries to control it along the wall. Palmieri careful with it as he's forced back behind the Anaheim goal. 5 seconds in OT as he stretches it ahead. Botman looks up, makes a pass. Raquel takes one last shot at the buzzer, and it drifted over the crossbar. We will go to a shootout tonight at Honda Center.
Might we see Rickard Rakell in the shootout tonight?
You think?
Bruce Boudreau loves to go with the hot guy, and nobody hotter right now than Rickard Rakell. The second point. But look, the Ducks are in great spot here. The Winnipeg Jets scratching and clawing to stay in the playoff race. This next point for them is absolutely crucial.
Last night they defeated the Kings, did the Jets in a 4-round shootout in which their goaltender Michael Hutchinson stopped all 4 shooters. But it's Andre Pavelec tonight. For the Ducks, they head to the shootout for the 10th time this season. They have a record of 5-4. Freddie Anderson's been in net for all but one of those, as his record is 4-4.
Winnipeg, the Ducks are going to allow them to shoot first, and it is going to be Blake Wheeler to oppose Freddie Anderson.
And he streaks in on him in a hurry, goes back to the forehand and scores.
It's like Freddie lost an edge there, John. He was retreating, and when when Wheeler makes the move, there's no push. See that? He couldn't get the right edge, the right skate into the ice. He goes to push, and there's no push back. Defend the deep by Wheeler.
Far and away, the Ducks' best weapon in the shootout, Jakob Silfverberg. And he'll pick it up and approach Pavelec, who comes way out. And Pavelec got a piece.
Jakob Silfverberg, we've seen this move before. I mean, he does the same thing virtually every time. Pulls it into his wheelhouse. That may have got a little piece of the crossbar as well.
So the former Duck, Matthew Perreault, is tapped by his new coach, Paul Maurice, a left-hand shot. And he approaches Frederik Andersen. And Andersen stays with him as he tried to draw it back to the backhand, looking for the 5-hole.
Yeah, the puck just started to roll on Matthew Perreault. Watch this. Going to flip up on him right there. And he cannot regain the handle. No problem for Freddie Andersen.
Corey Perry steps over the board. He's been the number 2 shootout weapon for the Ducks this season. He loves to sweep way in off right wing, and that's where he'll go tonight. Pavelec out. Perry missed.
He knew exactly what he wanted to do. Andre Pavelec. You see Ilya Bryzgalov defend breakaways this way. Gets aggressive with the goal stick. The top of the net is exposed, but Corey Perry just misses a shot. There's space there. Lots of space. Just couldn't find it.
So Brian Little has the game on his stick. If he scores, the Jets win. He'll swing in off left wing. And he missed.
Kessler is going to be the guy that has to score to keep it alive. Here was the bid by Little. He didn't miss the top corner by much. Ryan Kessler loves to go low stick side. He's been deadly with it this season.
So what remains of a standing room only crowd on Teemu Tribute Night comes to their feet. Kessler must score to extend the shootout. He approaches Pavelec. It's gone!
Boy, goalie's just going to stand off to that side. Kessler shoots the puck in the exact same spot every time. He had Pavelec completely fooled.
Evander Kane had the game's first goal, and he'll be the fourth shooter for the Jets. He circles at his own stripe, and here he comes. Anderson way out. And Kane scores. He beat him stick side.
Evander Kane going to pull this puck into his goal. It's the same spot that Ryan Kessler hit.
Here comes Rickard Rakell. I didn't even look. I just listened to the crowd reactions. His first shootout attempt. It has been his night. Can it continue? The Ducks need him to score here for the game to continue. A right-hand shot. He'll sweep way in off right wing. Backhand to score. He hit the pipe inside the net.
Wow, move by Rakell. I mean, that is some kind of confidence. And that's a flashback, Teemu. Right there. Watch this. And who does it remind you of? Quick move to the backhand. It's not fair.
He made Pavelec look like Dominik Hasek, didn't he? So we're tied through 4 rounds, and here comes Andrew Ladd, the leading scorer for the Jets, right up the middle. Pad save, Anderson. The Ducks can win if they can convert here in the 5th round.
And who's been the other hot guy for the Ducks in tonight's game? You're looking at him. Kyle Palmieri, the right-handed shot. He likes to go high glove. He's shooting against the goaltender that catches with the left hand.
Palmieri can win it. He's in a hurry.
What a stop.
Piece of the glove for Pavelec.
That's where he was going, and Pavelec just beat him.
Round 6.
What a save. I mean, that is a terrific save by Ondrej Pavelec.
Mark Scheifele will take his 3rd career shootout attempt and his 2nd this season. He had a goal way back in the first period. And he approaches Frederik Andersen. That sounded like it got the iron before it went wide.
Good shot by Scheifele. He misses by a couple of inches. He was shooting all the way. Anderson at the top of the goal crease.
And here comes Sami Vatanen. Rakell hadn't attempted an NHL shootout before tonight. Neither has Sami Vatanen. And you know he can wire it. I always wondered why guys won't just tee it up. Let's see. Vatanen wins it! The Finnish defenseman wins it on a night. It's all about the Finnish flag.
How appropriate. Sami Vatanen drills it. Got so much confidence. John, this all goes back to the 5-on-3 penalty kill at the beginning of the 3rd period. It gave them a chance. It gave them momentum and confidence. They had a tired Winnipeg team that was dominated in the 3rd period. It almost at times looked inevitable. And a big smile on the face of Teemu Selanne. What a way to end Teemu Tribute Night.
They were down by 2 twice, including going into the 3rd. And they began the 3rd period down 2 men for 1:17. The never say die Ducks win it in a shootout. 5-4 is our final. Stay with us on this special night. Ducks Live is next.